Man, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the first episode of the produce department. Man, it's going down. You know what I mean? I got some. It's a big one tonight, man. I got the legendary, infamous Mega Bucks in the building tonight. And for those that don't know, the produce department, this is a new podcast we're doing that's dedicated to the beat makers, producers, what I'm saying, legends in the game, what I'm saying, we giving music, what I'm saying, straight facts, no jack, what I'm saying, we giving everything to them what they need to know, what I mean, everything from trying to get your shit started to getting in the game to meeting new producers, meeting, that's why we doing this for the engineers and beat makers and CEOs and brothers like I got tonight, Bucks, because these brothers that you need to tap into that's not that you're not gonna see because they busy, what I'm saying, first of all, and second of all, what I mean, these brothers that need more access and more things put on their name, because these fellas that's gonna really put you in the right direction and give you the information that you really need. But tonight, man, we're gonna put this on this right here. This is a history lesson for your ass tonight. We're gonna get it to them. I got my dog Mega Bucks tonight, man. Mega Bucks, how you doing, man?
Loving. I'm just living, man. Happy to can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Loving day to day.
Yes,
Trying
sir.
to leave my mark in history, man.
Yes,
Every
sir.
day
Yes, sir.
create
Yes, sir.
doing different avenues to put the state on. I want to see somebody eat this year right here for 2025.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And those that don't know, this one of the man that the platform that y'all following today, this the man to put one of the man to put the blueprint down for it if you don't know it. So you're gonna find out tonight. You know what I mean? So without any ado, man, we're gonna go on and get everything started. So the first thing that we're gonna get from Bucks, what Mega Bucks, what part of Charleston are you from?
I'm from Union Heights, Charleston. They call it North Charleston now, but the whole thing was Charleston Heights back then. But the neighborhood I'm from is Union Heights, aka the Height, and it was like history. Of Union Heights is like the house we still got. My grandmother's house I grew up in is like one of the fourth houses in that neighborhood. That's where all the union workers, heavy crane operators that was black was in that area. That whole neighborhood was really developed just for that. And at one part of the time, it was a Black Wall Street because it had stores, clubs, all kind of stuff. When you see the little small space now, you wouldn't believe all that stuff was there, but
Right.
all that stuff was there. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm on my grandma telling me about the trolley cars and stuff that they had back then, So yeah, the hike was like Black Wall Street. It was the
Right.
place to go.
So what was your what was your childhood like growing up in the Heights?
Man, the hike was family. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, it wasn't nothing bigger than the city to me. I mean,
Right.
but ain't nothing bigger than my hood. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the hike was seen like it was the biggest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And any place else is like I've been taking an out of town trip. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Right.
it was all love because both sides. I was fortunate enough. Both sides of my family is on the hike. My mom and my daddy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my grandmother's was like 4 streets apart.
Right.
My two
Right.
grandmothers, my grandfather, they was 4 streets apart. So I got cousins in every angle. At that time, cousins in every angle, every street. The whole neighborhood was a family love thing.
So your grandparents are like one of the originators from that area that's been in the
The
area.
house that we actually own right now on the hike is one of that was the fourth house in that neighborhood when it was all
Mm,
woods. So
mm.
the house is historic. I want to say it's probably the oldest house still standing on the hike.
Wow. Wow.
It
Wow.
got to be the oldest house. I don't
Wow.
see me being. Yeah, I think it's still because my grandmother outlived everybody who came behind her. Pretty,
Mm.
she passed away about 6-7 years ago. But yeah,
Right.
it's
Right.
like we still got that original house that I grew up in. On my A Street cover because I got a single called A Street that I
Mm-hmm.
ain't dropped yet. But you see me sitting. Matter of fact, the grind mold cover. It's that same house on the grind mold cover.
Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Got where you holding the bag? Where you
Yeah,
standing there holding the
yeah,
bag?
it's
Right.
the
Okay.
actual house where I grew up at. That's where
Right.
you get where Bert the chicken at. You know what I'm saying? That's the height. That's her
Right.
story. part of the city. Before it wasn't North Charleston, it was Charleston Heights, Union Heights. That was the main thing. So,
Right. Most definitely, most definitely. I remember for just a little side note for those that don't know, I first met Mega Bucks at a job. Me and him worked that together, man. And I was so excited, man, to be right here, man, with this guy, man. And every day I was right there up on them, telling me, giving me stories, man, giving me the rundown, man, how they put this thing together, and still had the CDs of all the OGs, and I was copying them too. I still got a couple of them in the day. OZOG, Down and Dirty. I got all of your joints still in the cut.
Got the old cassette,
Yeah.
OZOG.
I'm talking about.
I got Down and Dirty somewhere in there.
You legend. so let me you living on the height, was it rough out there? I mean, were y'all hustling? I mean, what type of life?
When I was kids, like everything started transitioning with the Navy base being open. You had all type of individuals. My first time seeing like Arabic people, I guess I'm saying that right.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Navy base was open because me coming up, the era I came up, 70s, 80s era, you still pimping on the streets. You still had drugs. I mean, literal pimps and prostitutes was on School Avenue. You could see that one of my uncles was pimping. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
it was a lot of, I was young, so I really didn't get it. When I got into the game, like I was 11 years old.
Wow.
I came up in the era where our parents worked all the time. So
right.
I came up with my grandmothers, my mother, my father, them. They bought a house, like what I call a back street. I named the neighborhood called a back street. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's my brother and my cousins them grew up on that section. It's really not. It's in between the Macon, Maccabee, and the Wheel, and it's a little area. And I just like we're gonna call it the back street. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I was just getting into the streets because I wanted my own. My dad worked 2 jobs since I could remember. My mom was always working hard, so we had a lot of free time. And at that time, like I said, it was more neighborhood oriented. So you could tell your grandma, okay, I'm going to stay at my cousin's house, but we really in a whole other section because he lying and I lying. They never did check. Right. Grandma ain't gonna call your aunt and too much. Well, you say you spending the night. We got older cousins and stuff in there, so they vouching for us the whole time. We ain't even on the hike. We in a whole another neighborhood. We in Macon. We had a teenage club. We doing some shit. We ain't even teenagers yet, but we sneaking around. We seeing everything. Like I said, the base had things so live. You didn't really pay attention to the crime, but the crime was heavy. Now, when I started messing around in the game, I started seeing how it cut through because I started off selling weed. You know what I'm saying? Right. One of my partners' mom was the plug. And she had the weed for $65 an ounce. And I'm talking before they had all that chemical based shit.
Right, that's right. Right.
Fire. And then and you might get the ounce for 30 grams, 32 grams, not the 28. You know what I'm saying? So we was out there selling nickel bags. We didn't really know what we was doing, but everybody wanted to be on because this was the era when Run DMC, LL radio album, Public Enemy first album, Bun Rush the Show, Fuck the Police came out. Luke Skywalker. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop was coming to be. We didn't really know what it was, but it had fit what we was doing, what we was seeing.
Right.
And so it's like,
I mean, were y'all making money? Were y'all getting
oh big? Yeah, we were getting money because we wearing big chains, and that's before cats really had cars. So it was about chains and rings and going to school fly. I got 5,000 on me. We in the classroom getting kicked out of classes. We in there counting money and doing craziness, man. But it was an era of us just coming into ourselves because we wanted, like my dad said he ain't had it. He's paying a mortgage. He doing all. We didn't understand those things. All we know is this is what we wanted.
Right.
So we want the shoes. We want the jewelry. We want to get the girls. You don't want to get laughed at because you ain't got the name brand shoes. And mind you, back then it wasn't no Jordan. Right. Everybody's wearing Chuck Taylors and bullet toe Nikes.
British Knights. Right.
Oh, that's even before British Knights. It wasn't even British Knights at that time. It was Convert, like Chuck Taylor's was the shoe. And they had like NBA had a shoe that was like a version. It only came in powder blue, but it was the NBA's version of the Chuck Taylors. And
Oh
it
yeah.
actually had the NBA symbol on the back of them.
Oh
Everybody was
wow.
wearing it. If you was balling, because this was Dr. J, that's before the Jordan era. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like Julius Erving was, Dr. J was our Michael Jordan back then.
Right. Got you. Got you. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, you had him, Magic Johnsons, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, and you wanted to be fly. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes.
You
Right.
always had something to do. It's like Friday afternoon, school out, you got something to do. Skating ring, you got the movie theater, you got Pine Haven. You know what I'm saying? We always had things to do. You had your house parties. It was always shit to do.
So
And you
so so you saying that, not mean to cut you off. It was Charleston in that era, like, how like we watch a Paid in Full or one of them type of movies. You know how New York had this whole setup. Did Charleston have that type of fashion or that type of
Yeah, we was wearing out. We was doing out the same thing they was doing. Like when we started getting cars, it was a whole different ball game. Like you see
right.
the Gucci, YSL, and
Mm,
MCM shit back then. We was doing that shit. We didn't. We just wanted something to make us different. Everybody wanted to stand out. You had downtown. You had Liberty Hill. You had every section doing their thing. Getting money. Cats. We was young, man.
right.
Man, we ain't even been really teenagers yet. We in high
Mm,
school, junior high school, and we get money because that was you when you wanted your own. That's how you had to go get it. I
right.
like I said, my dad worked two, 3 jobs, so I ain't seen him a lot. And he had to do what he had to do. But in my mind, I'm looking at my uncle. He out there pimping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's selling
Right.
the guns. This nigga got the man. He got the Lincoln Continental Marks 4 with the I just seen the cars with the automatic windows and the tire on the back, and you looking like,
Right. Right.
the fuck I want.
Cold shit,
You know what
fly
I'm
shit.
saying? They got the
Mhm.
gators on and the jewelry, and like, man, it's like, man, and
Mhm.
it's just the fascination of it to get
Right.
your own shit, and then at this time we was breakdancing. That's really
Mm,
before rap had by saying, Skip Ski and Double D were like the first cats that we really like. Oh yeah, them boy rappers. They everybody had like the spree scooters, man. Yeah, I say this before cats been whooping. So we had
right.
like the spree scooters, it was like a scooter, but you could pedal it, but it had a motor on it.
Oh
And
damn.
that's like you used to see him in Heavy D and all them boy. All them boy had it. That was the shit that Skip Ski and them boy had that shit. It's like, damn boy, man, them boys like they opening out for Heavy D, Big Daddy King, and all these people. You're like, damn, boy, y'all. At my everybody was rapping more East Coast based at the
Right.
time.
So
So
so you segue into where I was about to ask you next. So that's this perfect. This is a perfect, beautiful flowing conversation. Um, when did that rapping bug catch you and you was like, yo, I gotta see what this is about.
man, honestly, um, the first song that really made me in the rap, I had an 8-track tape. It was Curtis
Mm,
Blow 8 Million Stories featuring Run DMC. And I'm like, oh
mm.
shit. Because I heard what it was, Rappers Delight, but that
Right.
really didn't, because they were just like the hit, it was like more of a party shit. When I heard
Mm,
8 Million Stories and Curtis Blow introduced the world to Run DMC, I'm like, oh shit, that's what I need to do. But I can say what really did it for me, my favorite song all time, Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full.
oh,
Because when that
classic,
shit dropped, I
classic.
was actually loving that life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Thinking of a
Right.
master plan. Ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand. And I keep talking like, oh shit, I've been on DSP selling weed. When that
That's what I'm
shit
saying.
dropped,
Right. Right. Right.
I
You
could have
just
really
said that. Right.
like
Right.
that shit that hit me like, damn, boy,
Mhm,
that's what it
mhm.
does. And then we looking at them boy on the cover like, oh shit, man, them boy got the big jewelry and Dapper Dan suits, and like we was already loving that shit because we just wanted. They had the store called Hut where everybody used to shop at. You either went
Mm,
downtown to New Yorkers, or you went to the Hut because the New Yorkers had like all the shit that the New York rappers were wearing.
right.
KRS One, Area Rock. You wanted that shit, but at the same time, we didn't want the hustlers didn't want to look like each other. So we're gonna
Mhm,
separate us from that hood. We're gonna make you different from the city. We're gonna make North Charleston different. So we would go out and make ourselves different. I had a cousin who actually redid my logos for my I draw the sketch, but he was the one brought my logo to life, my Cashman logo to life. And he actually beat me in an art contest back in the days. He was airbrush our Levi's outfits, when we was wearing Levi's and the shell tools and shit like that. He would make it authentic, and then we was about repping the hood. Everything was no blight and crook. It's like you repping where you from. If that's the neighborhood you from, you had to rep that neighborhood. You had to fight whatever. I'm saying that's what it's about the hood. So when we was getting money, well, like I said, it was always something to do, but you wanted to be the flashiest when you went out there to go do it. The skating ring popping, new movie coming out, you want to be popping, so you want to go there with the fresh gold. Back then we weren't wearing no shirts. We were skinny cats who were cut out. You know what I'm saying? And girls, I like the skinny dudes. So might have a soak. I might have a soak jacket on with a couple of herringbones and out there flexing in the club. You know what I'm saying? So, but not in the club, but wherever we going at, you had to make a scene, especially in school. Everybody in school. That's where all the girls was at, and getting money, coming home. Coming from school, straight from the block to school. You know, because I was running the street for a little minute, and my dad was to the point like, okay, I can't do nothing because you feel like you're growing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm 14 with $50,000. You know what I'm saying? So
damn,
it's hard to tell me too much of anything.
Right.
Yeah, from my block, some of them even younger than me. All us getting money. Some of them driving, can't even see across the steering wheel. That's what out Peugeot, Swar, we call it man, what the cars was, because Cherokee was our SUV. That was our luxury SUV back then. You know what I'm saying? Cherokees and the OJ Broncos and the PNC Jimmys. Those were the SUVs that had that were like money status. Because we went from the 70s era with my uncle them and driving Lincolns and the Fleetwood Cadillacs and shit like that. So it was making a transition from the 70s hustler player to these new 80 cats, because everything we was doing ain't been seen before. And then you incorporate rap with that, because rap was changing. It wasn't no more the party type shit. Like cats really talking about what the fuck we living like. Okay, I'm seeing this like, and at that time, everybody was rapping New York, so I didn't fit in because my accent was so geeky. A lot of the groups of rappers who was out that I was trying to get on with, they wouldn't accept me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that geeky shit ignorant, man. Ain't nobody gonna buy that. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So they wasn't really supporting what I was trying to do, and they couldn't see it. I just wanted to be heard. I wanted to rap for my hood. I wanted to rap for the Dope Boys getting it, because I was looking at, like, let me see who was out. Other than Eric B. Rock, you remember Just Ice?
Right. Okay. I don't think I ever heard of Just Ice.
He was down BDP with KRS One of them.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And he was the first cat I ever saw with like the grill in his mouth, like the bullshit in his mouth. That was from up north. You know what I'm saying? That's before, because JT Money and them Poison Clan really changed the game for the South. And Luke was setting it off, because Luke was like, okay, I can do this music that represents the South. When you went in the club, you heard that, because we went from like a Marvin Seas to pop that pussy, pop. You know what I'm saying? So the era was changing. We was bringing in the new era, man. And Charleston was we still didn't formulate the sound. We didn't formulate our own sound until like the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
So during this time, like you said, you didn't really know what side to really fit in. So that's already telling me that you.
I was more on the like Midwest West Coast style. I had like what they call a horrorcore style, like our Bushwick, Dayton family.
Okay, got you. Okay,
we more gravitated to that. Who didn't like I always had liked the East Coast music, but being from the South, but we didn't have a sound, so we kind of gravitated to your Flint, Michigan music, your Midwest music, your West Coast music, because it seemed like it relate more to us. Because we ain't like a pussy hole, pissy hallway and shit like, son, Danny, New York had their own shit going on. And New York always had this arrogance about itself. And it's like, you seeing cats and like, damn, that ain't representing us.
Right.
So what can we do? What can we do to represent us? And I know my partner Bones, God bless the dead, he been one of the cats like, man, look, man, talk your shit. And they I used to go get the cassette tapes out of local, the sample one they give, like with 4 songs on it, put the cotton balls on, scratch the boy name off, write my
Right.
shit on it, and I would take a vinyl record and go just freestyle over that shit. Press it out, put the little Reynolds rap, get it out because they used to come in the kids like this. Used to be the singles.
That's
And
right. Right. Yep.
I
Right.
used to Reynolds wrap that thing, and I done draw my little cover, and I'm slinging it for $5. I'm selling coke, weed, motherfucking tapes. You know what I'm saying? Because I just wanted to be heard. It wasn't even about a money
Right.
thing. And the
So
cat
so 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 not to cut you off. Were you
mm,
writing songs? I mean, were you by yourself? Did you have a group, or
at
you were
that
just
time,
you
I
just
can't call my brother them a group, but we
Mhm.
Backstreet Posse was like the first group I
Backstreet
had,
Posse?
but I
Okay.
was the only rapper. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? My
Right.
brother them just but there for the look, like they were like we rocking with him. So when we went somewhere, I was branding back then. I didn't know what branding really was, but anytime we went somewhere, my blueprint was KRS One BDP. Like if we gonna go somewhere, we gotta be dressed like the part. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we gotta have the chains on, we gotta have the rings on. So when we step out, we stepping out of the squads. Might be my brother, my 2 cousins, it's like 4 us. So we mobbing and we doing things, you know what I'm saying? And then I got with Corey Hill and Eric B, and I started recording. Like my first time I really got into the full track recorder. It was a full track recorder. And Eric B, they always got the vinyl from the labels early because both of them was at the radio station.
Right.
So
Right.
we would get the vinyl records early with the instrumentals. It'd be like the whole album. And when I say vinyl, for the people who don't know what vinyl was, you know what I'm saying? And they would get the vinyl record like this. And this actually
Mm.
T Mac 4 album that we did
Right.
in 1999. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Mm.
And it's like they would get the whole. I would take the instrumentals off the vinyl record, and I would rap over the record and do the same thing. I said, go. I had a $20 mic from Radio Shack with a low plastic stand, and I will play the vinyl instrumental on my big radio and record it. I didn't know nothing about no studios, and when I went in the studios, they didn't know what rap was. They would just set up for rock bands, and the price at that time they wanted $200 or $300 an hour to record.
Oh,
I'm like, man, what
damn.
the fuck? Like, because they didn't know what rap was. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Right. Right.
what is rap? You know what I'm saying? They didn't know now, but they didn't even consider us musicians because when you went in there, they had reel to reels and ADATs. So they
Mm.
looking at us like, well, what do you do? Do you make music? Like, nah, I got this beat. I want to rap over this. So they
So
made
so
it.
so just so just to be so just to make sure I'm being solid. So this is before there were any no studios in Charleston.
It was
Nobody had their own spots.
not for rap. Nobody had their own spot. Like you had
Right.
to go to the Fusion Fives, and it was a couple of studios, but they didn't cater to. They didn't know what rap music was. You had your boy Act Fool. There was a couple of cats who was doing beats like Blast, Act Fool. There was a
Hmm.
couple of producers that was doing beats, but they had their own little crew. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if
Right.
you wasn't a
Right.
part of your crew, we used to run into each other, but at that time it was more about a section thing. If you from downtown, you ain't really fucking with cats from North Charleston. You
Right.
Mount
Okay.
Pleasant, you really ain't fucking with cats. You know what I'm saying? You ain't mixing up with a bunch of cats because it's about your hood. Like, okay, I don't know them boy. You know what I'm saying? The boy don't know me. You know what I'm saying? We didn't start really mixing up until we started getting money because we would
Right.
see each other in the club. So we all had a mutual respect for each other. Like, okay, let's do this shit. Concert come, everybody there. So you trying to look the flyers. And you know what I'm saying? And we were watching like, local groups like Shrimp them before they became the flavor. I mean, before they became the Pathfinders, they was the flavor.
Mm.
And they had a CD press up. They got signed with Solar Records, like the people who actually give Shug the money to start Death Row. It
Oh
was a
wow.
black oil label, you know what I'm saying? And they went and got signed. And then you had one of my people off the hike, Seven Signs, which Charlemagne was in the group with them.
Mhm.
They
Oh.
was actually signed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was because I'm supposed to get with all of them to do this documentary and stuff, but Charlemagne was actually in the group.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
talk about the documentary too.
yeah, they got signed. They were signed back in the days, but like I said, everybody was East Coast hip hop.
Right.
So
Right.
we didn't stand out because it's like we was trying to be New York. And
Mhm.
it really wasn't until Master P hit. When Master P hit like the 93, 94, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, it's like, damn, okay, now you can sound like where you from
Right.
and make music. But how we going to approach it? Like I said, it wasn't no producers out there like that. The
Right.
radio
Right.
wasn't fucking with it. Radio wasn't fucking with independent artists anyway. So I was always in the street with my shit. Because even
Right.
with Trump and them, boy, I was like, damn, I want to be down with them, boy. I want to open for whoever coming into town. But I didn't have the connects or the plugs. But I always had the weed so I could get with the rappers. At least
Before you get into that, I also want to introduce you to my partner right here, Hef. You know what
what's
I'm saying?
going on
Hefe,
here?
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just joining us,
What's going
coming
on
in.
here?
He has some things going in, man. Super producer Hefe. For y'all don't know, you're gonna see Hefe on definitely, you know what I'm saying? Me and him gonna be knocking this goddamn produce department down, man. You know what I mean?
Yo,
This
man,
this
I appreciate y'all even having me on, man. I appreciate that a lot,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So getting back into it, because you man, you got me intrigued now. So I saw something that you said about Raw and GV being there from the start. Can you tell me who that is and how were they there from the beginning?
Yeah, my brother, that's my brother Raw and my cousin GV. They've been like my number one fans. Like when I
Okay.
told them I wanted to rap, I think we did like I wanted to say because I've been in and out of prison in the 90s. I was supposed to graduate in 91, but I was in
Mhm.
and out of prison fucking with that street shit. So
Right,
when
right.
I came home, I think in 92, and they wanted to do the rap shit. And
Mm.
like I said, we've been putting tapes out, shit like that. And I think we really got recognized when we did. I think Biggie had come out with Juicy, and they had like the singles out, and 112 had some shit out. And I went got them for the records. No, matter of fact, Biggie had Who Shot You was out, and they
Oh
had
man.
this snippet with Who Shot You on it. And I took that shit and I rapped over the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I took the instrumental one, I flipped it because we didn't know really who he was at that time. We saw the bad boy shit, but we didn't know and they used to come down, shit like, man, we didn't know who them niggas was. Like, man, I'ma just rap over them boy beat. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right,
I'm smoking
right.
that weed, so I'm sharp as the bitch. You can throw any track in. I'm what? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right,
like
right.
I started fucking around on B side. That's when I got my little partner drop it. A couple of them boy, and we really went in, and I got introduced to Kevin Baxter, Ralph, Anthony Baxter. He had
Right, right.
the show back in the
Man,
days.
listen, I used to love that joint late night,
Yeah,
man,
and he was.
on Channel 36, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah, he
saying?
was.
Yeah, yeah. Video jams.
His baby brother was my boy, and at that time,
Mhm.
Anthony really didn't like doing the show because he wasn't really into hip hop or rap like that. He come
Right,
from the R&B and gospel type thing.
right, right.
So he introduced me to the other brother, Ralph Baxter, and they
Mm-hmm.
had a spot in the attic on St. Susie. He had a studio up there. My first time really recording something. You know what I'm saying? They had a studio. Hey, come here. He had a studio up in the attic in St. Susie. They had a bunch of dads, reel to reel. And I'm like, hey, close that door. I'm doing an interview. Close that door. King. Come in. Come in, little boy. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there, big. Thank you, sir. That was Devon. Yeah, what was it? Oh, yeah, they had the reel to reel and stuff. And
Mhm.
at that time, I didn't know no producers. We didn't know nobody was doing beats. So, like I said, I started off rapping over other people's stuff. My first EP, I rapped over the Barcades, this album they had called A Monster. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that was like my first LP. I called it EP. I called it Life of a Player. I had like maybe 5 songs on that shit, and it did good in the street. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Because what I did,
okay.
I went to Kmart. I got a 100-minute tape. I had my 5 songs on the rest of what my pitch was. I got 5 songs on here. Then you got like 80 minutes to record all your favorite songs off the radio and put on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
$5 was the pitch, and you got 5 original songs from me. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Mm.
they wasn't original because I was rapping with somebody beat. But when I
Right.
got with Ralph, them boy, I told Ralph what I wanted, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it blew my mind because I wasn't used to this shit. Getting in the studio, he's like, "Well, what kind of beat you want?" And it's the beat Freddie's Dead, Curtis Mayfield. Dun, 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 dun,
Right.
dun, 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 dun. He played
Right.
that shit, you know what I'm saying, and he looped it. He's like, go for what you know. So I went
Mm.
hook, verse, boom, boom. So first song I ever really recorded in the studio was called "Nigga Like Me" over Freddie's Deadbeat. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And
murder,
it's like
murder.
that one went crazy in the street because niggas like, damn, this nigga really in the studio recording some shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I didn't get with Mac and them boy till like 95, 96. I caught a case. And when really 97 because I knew Mac them way back.
Mhm.
We in up
That's crazy.
97. I
That's
caught,
crazy. You talking about that because I was just about to ask you when did you meet Mac? Did Mac when
yeah,
did
I
Mac
knew
meet?
Mac since he been a little boy, you know what I'm saying? He younger than me, but I knew Mac forever, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
we started mixing up with the music shit around 97. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
was fighting. I had kids, I was fighting. I was like, man, I gotta lay down, you know. Mind you, I
Mm.
was when I caught that case, I was out on parole. You know what I'm saying? So the music been like up and down with me. And there's 97 kids ain't look like I'm gonna be seeing no light of day. So I'm like, man, I gotta really take this music shit serious.
Damn.
And Mac brought down Cash Money. We brought them the Desperados the first time. And we
Mm.
brought down them to King Street Palace after that, but we brought Cash Money through. We didn't really know who they was, but it's like, you know, because Pooh set the trend. We go back some. My cousin Pooh, before he died in 96, he already had set the trend. Okay, we gonna transition from the street shit to the music. You know, he brought
Okay.
UGK down. You know, they came at my aunt's house, they sat down and eat, and he was like telling me his plan. It's like, you know, he formulated BMD, like, okay, cause that's what we gonna do. That's because he was recruiting rappers from all around the city. He's like,
Right.
man, look, everybody, because he used to go out of town. He would go to Compton. He was
So
first time I
was Pooh or was Pooh was you and Pooh? I didn't mean to cut you. Was Pooh y'all?
yeah,
Were all y'all part of that crew? Like you said, that same
yeah,
crew hustling. You know what I
who
mean?
started the BMD thing. You know what I'm saying? We was watching New Jack City when New Jack
Okay.
City came out. We was at the movie theater. Cause
Mhm.
like, man, look, we want to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had the CMB. He's like, man, let's do the BMD shit. I'm like, man, cause what the fuck that stand for? He's like,
Right.
saying I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's
Let's
do
say that
like
again. You broke up a little bit. Say that again.
called
What was
BMD, Brothers Making Dollars. And
brothers
he was
making
like,
dollars?
man,
Okay.
you know,
Right.
because that's what we was doing. We was getting money to squeeze. Like, man, let's do it with the music because that's becoming a new dope game. He was a visionary. He saw some shit like, okay. And I went out to Cali, I went to Florida because you know Luke was running shit. Luke, JT Money, Poison Clan, them were like the first independent niggas who we knew of. That's before Trick had come out. You know, Poison Clan was that crew in Miami. You know what I'm saying? They was the hard gangster type music that we was the life we was actually living. So it was like, damn, Florida getting on. So our time got to be coming. You know what I'm saying? So Pooh plan was when he brought UGK down, you know, them boy just telling us some real shit, how to get in the game. And he would travel. He went out to Cali, he went in different places. Like this rap is about to be the new shit. So we're gonna transition. But he died before he got a chance to really do it. But he brought Lil Kim. He brought Lil Kim them down here too when Junior Mafia had the song out. You know what I'm saying? What was the song Junior Mafia?
Get
Um,
money. Get money.
yeah, I think that was the song. He brought them
Mm-hmm.
down here. You know what I'm saying? He was like, look, I'm
And
gonna
you know,
bring
I
out.
think I remember when I watched Anthony talking about Anthony Baxter on video games, him interviewing Little Kim when they came. So that must
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
around the
And
time.
we was on there too.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
sure
saying? We
was.
was
Right, right,
backstage
right,
too.
right, right.
Yeah, he interviewed Lil Kim them boys like, man, that shit really happened. But he died, you know, before he could execute it. So what happened is Beach took over the reins. He like, man, you know, we ended up running to Top Authority. And they didn't
Mm,
have a record label home. And we
mm.
used to listen to them boys. Beach like, man, we gonna
Top
sign them.
authority.
He like,
Tell it
Beach,
to my nine.
yeah. Beach said, I'm a sign them boys. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and it just so happened when he was executing that, the feds was on the crew. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So the feds swoop do, he couldn't make a move because they snatched him up. But the
mm,
thing was, all I was recording, I was doing my solo thing. OZ was doing his solo thing. Swab was doing his solo thing. Mac down the Dirty Deal was doing it. Everybody was coming. All us was going at Beach House to record. So when
mhm.
the shit happened with Beach, like, damn, we don't got no place to record. And
Right.
one of the other dudes I know, he had a studio, and his part Beach Cousin Pick was the producer. You know, he was doing shit on the DR5. That was like the first beat machine I ever saw. like cats
Right.
other than the keyboard shit. So he doing shit on the DR5, and all us was in the same studio. Just so happened, dude who had the studio was he done orchestrate his death because the feds was on him too. So they
Mm.
thought he was dead, but we was in the studio recording, and the landlord ended up coming in there like, look, I need my bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's such and such at? You know what I'm saying? We like that. We don't know. But he said, well, if he don't bring me my money by a certain time, y'all got to leave. I need my stuff. Or I got to get out the studio. So I'm looking at Mac. Mac looking at me like a light bulb went off. Like, yo, we all in here recording. Holler at my man and see what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? So me and Mac went over there, dude. You know, Mac talked to dude like, okay, how much dog owe? And he owed us, so I could pay it out. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do with the equipment? My man's like, shit, y'all keep all that. As long as y'all gonna pay the rent, I'll do another lease with y'all and we make it happen. And like I said, the feds was on BMD, so we couldn't use it on that. So we went to the phone code. We went to the phone code, and if you look at the phone code, 263 is BMD on your phone code. You look at the
Mm.
numbers, to match up the numbers. And so we went with that. The lawyer's like, okay, yeah, y'all can rock with that. And I say at the time, Mac was building a relationship with Cash Money. So
Right.
we went out on the road with them just to see how that shit was, because this was before they had the deal, you know what I'm saying? And they used to always talk to us. You know, we was transition, we was street niggas. Like I said, all the mix, all this shit was going on. I still was fighting my case. So I ain't even supposed to been out of town. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting some serious shit, and I'm just like, fuck it. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna make the best of it and record as much music as I can, because it was me, Fat Boy. You know, people don't realize Fat Boy was a part of 263 Garbage Dead, little bro. You know, um,
Right.
he was what I was recording. You
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
Cash Money, what they would do when we was touring with them, it was kind of showing us the rules, and at the same time, they was getting lingo from us. Like,
Right,
see,
because I was about to tell you when you said Cash Money, I heard a rumor. Well, I didn't know whether it's a rumor or not. You tell me if it's true that
yeah,
the name we know T Mac, the legendary T Mac. You know what I'm saying? If y'all those don't know, you need to go and do your homework. That's who he's talking about. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh, 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 he had an album called Shine in the Big Time, and so
yeah.
I heard that your boy Baby and they took the name Big Time and all this, the Shine and the Big Time, and from y'all the
Well,
pen and
well,
pick where
he
y'all did the
really
covers and everything.
a lot of the lingo. If you listen to them before us, they
Right.
was more on the soldier shit. Like,
Mm.
we was loving the bling bling and shit. Like my phrases was blinging and thinging. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking geeky shit, not realizing, because they used to always ask us, man, what you say? What that mean? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't, it was soaking out what we were saying, and we didn't realize what was coming. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We were just fucking with them like, okay, that's family, yo, we gonna make this shit happen. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But the rap game, you know, we went in there with the mentality of family shit with them. And
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Juvie, Wayne, and Nana, because Wayne was a low boy, you know what I'm saying, at that
Right.
time. So I can't say nothing bad about BG, and not even Sugar Slim, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff that happened was really Baby. Because
Mm-hmm.
everything you saw Baby doing, the briefcase, the two watches, and all that, Mac was already doing that shit.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? So,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
we got pictures of that. You can look at the pictures and see, okay, damn,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
see what Baby got on? You see Baby with the low Onyx Cash Money chain on? Look what a Mac got around his neck. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Look what Mac got on saying. You will look at the picture right there. So motherfuckers can dispute all they want. You know what I'm saying? And say, okay, well, that okay, if you say it ain't true, but explain that. So
Explain that.
this was before they got on. They actually, while we was with them, they was inking the deal.
Mm.
And like, okay, the deal coming. So we looking like, okay, and the boy can put us on once they make it happen. Because anytime we was out of state with them, they would introduce us. Say, oh, that's our Charleston people. They about to drop. Mind you, this time we ain't had a fucking album out. We was working on the Mac album. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
even have a single out. Matter of fact, we didn't have a single out because the T Mac shining the big time and that everybody heard in history. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the first album. When we did T Mac shining the big time and we gave it to Manny, them boy, and let them listen to it, man. It's like, man, the lyrics is hitting, but these beats is trash. Like I see, Pick been doing the shit with a DR5, all the beats. You know what I'm saying? So the second album, Uzi had a Triton keyboard. Uzi was doing like the darker type heavy bass beats was Uzi. And then Baby Boom brought Joe Lexus to the table. Joe was doing beats on the same shit that Manny had. And he had Manny like, yo, who the fuck did that? We did that shit on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's the same little box you got. And Joe just had this shit in him. He had no formal training on that shit. He was just making shit. And like when we listening to the sound, like we didn't realize we was developing a sound. We just wanted to different, make us different from up north. Because Carolina Pathfinders was the equivalent to Wu-Tang from Charleston. So we needed something to separate us. Like, okay, yeah, we gonna do the Southern music, we gonna make this shit happen. And the street started catching on to it because they knew us from the street. They're like, yo, them niggas really in the street. So now we flexing, we shining, we doing all the shit, you know what I'm saying? And people really gravitating to us because they knew us. They knew us from the block. Like, yo, them boy from the block. Oh, you pulling it out,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You pulling it out.
Y'all can see what my dog talking about. You can see he ain't. It's like I say, this ain't no this real deal. This ain't no faking. This real talk. He telling you. You know what I mean?
And like Baby done put us on to where to go to get the cover at, because everybody was going to like Pen and Pixel in Texas, like Master P, Rap-A-Lot Records, all them boy like, yo, that's where they get the album covers done at. Y'all gonna do this shit, do it like this, because they gave us some gems. I can't really say them boy never give us no gems.
Now look at this. Now check this out here. If you see this right, now look at this now. Come on now. This pre Cash Money.
So that's before Cash Money.
This before Cash Money. This man from Charleston, man. This T Mac 263. Look at the Panther. They got the Panther with the gold leash. Come on, man.
I see the influence for sure.
Look at the cars in the back. You can even without even breaking down that, you can look at just the whole picture and just could tell the whole essence of the image. That's where they got all their whole style from, man. You know, look at them. Look at them in the back. This a roll. Listen now. Look at that. That's a Bentley. This one for nigga. Normal. They weren't even talking about no Bentleys during this time. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
That's one thing I always remember. And look at them with the chains and the watch. Nobody wasn't doing that pose.
Yeah, it was a dump, and like that's it.
They got the Hummer.
And the Hummer.
Yeah, we went on.
And they got the big dog Hummer.
Come on now. What Baby always talk about the Hummer.
The big dog Hummer. Yeah.
and we paid for our own tour. Like we went on our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
We had our own tour bus, like literally a tour bus leaving from the bus station on D Road. You know what I'm saying? So we've been totally independent. A lot of people thought we would sign to them when they got on. Like, nah, we totally independent.
Right.
And we was like, you had Firstborn and them boy more Molly Racks. Y'all know them as Molly Racks now, but they was Firstborn. They were signed to TIP Records with Young Buck, because Molly Racks and Young Buck, they was label mates. You know what I'm saying? It was labeled. They was on the same record label, and them fellas got caught up by the feds. Them actually the fellas who cars Baby them was using for the video.
Oh wow.
Nashville was like second home. That's really where they got on at, because P was running New Orleans. When he went to New Orleans, No Limit had run that shit. You know what I'm saying? The Baby had 33 albums out now. That's before BG even came into play. It was no BG and Lil Wayne. They had 33 albums out.
What? I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, they had 30, and Manny Fresh produced all them tracks on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because Baby was rapping with UNLV.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Their biggest rapper was this dude named Big Daddy. I think he got killed. You know what I'm saying? BG's sister, Magnolia Shorty, you know what I'm saying? She had a couple of albums. Magnolia Slum, which we know is Soldier Slum, he had a bunch of albums with them, boy. And all this is pre-BG, pre-Lil Wayne. So they had put in the work, so they had deserved the label deal. It just was hard for them to get out of New Orleans because P had the power, P had the bread, but they never talked bad about P now. They just, they told us some shit I can't see on here. Right. They was begging up Master P. Like, look, if you was moving a certain way in New Orleans around this time and this time, you had to see Master P in some kind of form or fashion, or you was riding in Texas. And, I'm talking about some street shit. You know what I'm saying? So when we started fucking with them, they were just showing us like shit. They introduced us to 3-6 Mafia. We met 3-6 Mafia through them.
Oh wow!
We was with them when they were recording Tear the Club Up Dogs, the actual album, not the song, because the song had just went gold. And we went to their studio in Memphis. We met Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo, I mean, she had a white Range Rover, God bless the dead. And I was writing Who the Ballers for Mac album while this shit was going on. Because I remember her asking me, like, yo, what is you doing? Like, what is that? And I let her hit a track. And she was like, oh, we chilling off of Tennessee with 3-6 Mafia and them Cash Money HBs. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing this shit as it's going down, not realizing that it was going to be as big as it was, because we didn't expect Shining a big time in to go like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit had us going to schools doing career day. And mind you, all this time, I was fighting my kids. You know what I'm saying? I was fighting my kids. My kids didn't get tossed out till like 2000. You know what I'm saying? And we were running hard, man. But it was an exciting time because we actually was creating a South sound for everybody that came behind us. You had your Bob House Records, Twin D, Dino them was coming. You know, when Mac got him up in 99, that's when everybody else came out. So we kind of set the blueprint, okay, be independent.
Right.
Put your record out, because Mac album did like 200,000 that same year. It dropped like in a matter of months.
Damn.
But Southwest Wholesale went bankrupt. So they went bankrupt, paying us, ordering us millions. We was getting $10 a CD. You know what I'm saying? So our deal was structured for $10 a CD. Cats don't even know that about that, because the screaming shit from other shit, you getting pennies on the, you ain't getting no money. You know what I'm saying? I must that just, you know, the first album. You know what I'm saying? You know, first album.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? I got this. So we been used to getting the $10. It was like the dope gear for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when the shit went south, with Baby them got on. So we watching them get on, but Mac was locked up. Even when Baby changed his name to Birdman, if you listen to the song 50 Ain't Shit, we look like that. Baby dissing Mac on the song. You know what I'm saying? But we wasn't thinking about it when we went to put the album out. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, Baby changed his name to Birdman. It was a statement made to Baby by Mac when Mac beat him on the dice for 50. You know what I'm saying? And Mac was like, "Well, nigga, I'm the Birdman." You know what I'm saying? Because nigga was trying to pretty much front on us. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't like the fact that Mac beat him on the dice. And Mac looking at me like, "Yo, you know what is nigga on? Like we talking without talking." And you know, Mac with an arrogant nigga, niggas had money, so what Baby was talking about, they ain't like, nigga, what? That money ain't nothing. You know, but Baby like, yeah, I got millions, boo, boo, boo. And Mac like had to shut that shit down. Like, nigga, what the fuck is you saying? I got millions. I ain't 24 years old yet, and I don't got a record out. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is you talking about? I mean, literally, when I saw Baby moving, he had a nigga, everything he saw Mac doing, he started doing. He had a nigga carrying the briefcase with the money. Mac was doing this shit back then.
And you know, the thing about it is with that area, New Orleans and Charleston, they just those almost similar cities. Those
cities, but see, at that time,
you know,
if New Orleans was fucking grimy as hell, you even like how I was recently, but last year I was in Baton Rouge, where New Orleans for Essence Festival and the Cash Money reunion. Like, man, that shit that gentrified. I mean, that's for the better. But boy, back then when we went down here, like, oh, and then, you know, it's ratchet for us because, like I say, we came up in the era when Charleston had the Navy base, so we was just as wide open as them.
Right.
People running around the clock, and you didn't realize the violence because you was in your hood. You didn't realize how much people was getting killed because that wasn't a concern of ours. We wasn't gang banging. Everybody was about their section. Whatever section you was from, that's what you had to represent. Now, when we went out of town, it was Carolina. When we went to another city, it's Charleston. You know what I'm saying? Charleston over there. You know what I'm saying? Prison yard, Charleston.
Charleston.
You know what I'm saying? Went to Atlanta, Charleston. You know what I'm saying? So cats had know what Charleston was about. But we, like I said, I loved what Twin D them boy did because they was kind of developing a sound. When Dino came out, Marley them, they had a sound for Charleston. Like, okay, this Charleston. You know what I'm saying? Because we were shining in big time. And if you listen to the album, everybody got a different style. And down, you know, Dirty from Down and Dirty is from Nashville, Tennessee. And K always had a different style. Baby Born from the City, Trivia from the City. We had so many different sounds, you know. X, we all know is Pee Wee Shine. He represent Mouse Corner.
Right,
you know
right. Shout out Pee Wee Shine, man, legendary. BMX.
He's a legendary Mouse Corner.
Yes, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
We all had different styles, and that's what made it happen because you don't see the rappers doing that no more. We was able to put, because T-Mac album was pretty much like a compilation, to be honest, because if you listen to a lot of the songs he had, it was really songs we had for our solo albums, but Mac need us. You know what I'm saying? That's why the song's so long, because it's song so long. If you look at the back of the album cover, it's showing a song that ain't even on there because it didn't fit. The song wouldn't even get on the album. So it's showing more songs that was really on the album. You know what I'm saying? So it was an exciting time, you know. Yeah, I appreciate the history of it, man, and everything we developed, but we thought maybe would have went harder for us. But when you got the machine, he didn't need us. They didn't need us, you know what I'm saying, no more. Mac was locked up. So his persona became Mac, the Birdman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, see, and you looking at that cover, like, yeah, Mac been doing that. That's how he was arrogant like that. You know what I'm saying? He already been doing it. He had our actual charm was a Rolex watch. You know what I'm saying? And it's like me and him was supposed to be the millionaire players. And Baby, there was the big timers. And that's how I created my name. Because I had a line, they called me Mr. Jason, aka Mega Bucks. And Mac like, oh shit, use that as your name.
Right,
like,
right. Okay.
You know, everybody had a 2-part name when I started rap. I've been Mr. Jason the Trouble Man, you know what I'm saying, rapping that horrorcore shit. And Mac's like, man, look, man, you rapping about shit. If a nigga ain't been in prison, a nigga ain't know what the fuck you talking about. So I hit that money, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't never think about it because it was about being so lyrical that we had to dumb it down. Like, okay, not dumbing it down. You just want to make it where Pathfinders was over people's head because every cat in the street, they're lyricists. They don't understand like the Nas. They ain't even gonna listen to that because that's too complex. I drink blind and I drinking a 40. I don't want to hear all them complex lyrics. I hear nigga flush whatever big boogie. She over the club doing boo boo boo. That's my type of shit. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? So we had to make it where it was for the people. You know what I'm saying? Shit they could visually see. We talking about Rivers Avenue. We talking about going to Bertha's. Like this shit motherfucker see. You know what I'm saying? You see me by the plaza. You know where the Cookman at. Or them nigga by the plaza got that. You know what I'm saying? So we started incorporating real life shit that was going on. And nobody was doing that shit at that time. Nobody, you know, you had rappers like Two-Tone, because Two-Tone was on some gangster shit. And you know, like I said, everybody came after us. We set the path for them to be able to come in with a sound.
So the on the actual label of 263, did you get along with all the artists on the label?
And my brothers to this day, man, it's like because I never been around that many cats with that talent like that. You know, I never seen that many rappers because, like I said, I used to try to get with other crews, but everybody was New York. They wasn't accepting me. Our shit was always friendly competition. Like every song you hear on Mac album, all us wrote to every song. And it's whoever had the quarters verse, that's who stayed on that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was our competition. Like we used to split it each other verse, like, oh man, I gotta stand down. I can't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that was a friendly competition, man. We had lots of each other. We really, that's an album that we put our heart in. We was recording 3, 4, 5 albums at one time. You know what I'm saying? Because my album was really, I Got This was already recorded, but we didn't put the shit out. You know, we had Uzi Down and Dirty, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and Uzi, if you listen to Uzi album, Uzi was really supposed to be the first artist.
Right.
He wasn't going to drop Mac, but if you look at Uzi cover, Uzi, if you listen to Uzi CD, he's more political.
I love Uzi OG, man.
He speaks from a South perspective, but he speaks more on a political overtones, what was going on with the government and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? What Mac was more the flashy shit, and Down and Dirty was the younger version of, okay, that's what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So everybody had their different elements. You know what I'm saying? Old was like the heavy bass. Old shit you gotta listen to in the car. It wasn't no club music. That's the shit. The speakers, boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? You know, old shit had your speakers knocking. You had to go ride in your car and listen because he was taking you. He was showing you that's what a money maker look like. That's what Charleston look like. You know what I'm saying? He made you visualize the stories. Like that's what the government doing to us. That's how we feel. That's how we being oppressed. He was like the greatest storyteller. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest storytellers, even at this era. When Mac got locked up, because Mac was already locked up when Ozzy and Down the Dirty dropped. And I used to have to make Fat Boy come in the studio and rap because Fat Boy was in the street running. Every day I was trying to leave, he was in it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that Down and Dirty, that probably was my funnest album I ever had recording with Dope Boy because the energy, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know why Mac don't put these records out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people have never heard these records, and if they was to hear these records, be like, damn, this shit work right now. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Joe had mastermind on beats. And like I said, artwork, everything we got in the Pen and Pixel, the same place, Cash Money, No Limit, all them guys, Rap A Lot Records, wherever all of them went at, that's what we went at. And believe it or not, now you can get what the same covers you right now. That cover right there costs you $50 right now. Back then we was paying $1,400-1,500 for covers. You know what I'm saying?
You can make this on your phone. I'm not even gonna
right
play
now.
with you. Right now, you can make it on your phone for free. That's crazy.
Back then we paid 14 because nobody saw that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody saw that. And P was a big thing. Like P was a big influence. P was like, look at it. Like, cause you know, a lot of New York cats, they had the simple cover. They might be sitting in a chair or something, and they got New York in the backdrop. And P was like, okay, if you see an album with a bunch of cars and Hummers and watches on it, then you see this dude sitting on the chair. Which album you gonna buy first?
Shit, I'm gonna see the big with the sit down
shit.
with the flashy shit, the watches, the sit big dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody that look the part. They look like they the part. You know what I'm saying?
And P was the one put us on to that like Master P, not even knowing it because we didn't know P at that time. We was fucking with Cash Money. We went to get a verse from Master P. P wanted 100 bands for a verse.
Damn. What? Back then?
He been getting that. What? Even the man. People in the man, like when we and Mac make the call, like we talk No Limit Records, you know what I'm saying? We talking to PP, like, yeah, man, I got y'all, you know, just I need, 100, 150. You know, I'm like looking at Mac like 150. You know what I'm saying? What? Should we get a Manny was going through the whole album for less than that. You know what I'm saying? Man would have get a verse from him, man. Probably low man heavy.
Right.
And I knew he only did that because we was fucking with Cash Money at that time, and we really didn't know how deep it was between them because it really wasn't no beef like with the artists. Like I see, none of them never said anything bad about P. They had the utmost respect for P, and they understood that but P had the game on up. Nashville was developing themselves. Nashville really didn't have no artists. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I got shout out to Pistol. A lot of people don't know about Pistol and Haystack. They was like a big Nashville artist at that time. You know,
I never heard of them.
Yeah, Pistol was actually signed to Easy E to Relativity Records. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, Pistol was the dude because see a lot of cats don't know these cats. You know what I'm saying? You got Scarface, Al Capone out of Memphis, all these Skinny Pimp. You know what I'm saying? All these cats was out. You know what I'm saying? And we was in the mix of all the underground shit that was going on.
What's my other man from Memphis? Tommy Wright the Third.
Tommy Wright the Third. You know, DJ Squeaky. You know what I'm saying? And them boy, there was a bunch of them boy that was out. Like I remember meeting Rick Ross when he been Teflon Don. He been with Tony Drip with them boy. You know what I'm saying?
Suave House.
Yeah. He was like, man, and Castro realized how long we was in the game because the 90s, late 90s, P was kind of, I ain't gonna say fading, but Cash Money was coming.
Right.
And Juby, I remember Juby spitting hot us, and we looking at each other like, what the fuck you talking about? We didn't get it. Because we listened to the acapella version. It was me, him, Young Buck, Baby Born, Down and Dirty, Buff. We was in Nashville. We was leaving the studio in Memphis when they were recording the Taylor Club Up Dog album. And we was leaving Memphis. We was a 16 passenger van because Juby was cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? And Buck used to roll with him, heavy. Now I don't know what happened with them boy, but Juby was spitting hot at us, and we was like, man, what the fuck is he talking about? We didn't get it. And a motherfucker 400 degrees drop. Like, oh shit. and in my mind, we on because boy, we fuck with them boy. You know what I'm saying? That's when the truth came to the light, like, Baby didn't really fuck with us like that. They was preserving the opportunity. Okay, we can kind of develop off these cats. You know what I'm saying? And Mac was gone because we had all kind of deals, but Mac was fucked up. So we couldn't even really tell them, boy, like, when Mac coming home. And none of us had dropped an album yet. So I was like, man, I got to put out OZ. I got to put out Down and Dirty. You know what I'm saying? We got to try to make some shit happen. And then when we found out from dude Benny who had on local, like, yo, y'all not going to get paid. Southwest Wholesale just filed for bankruptcy. So we looking at the sound scan sheets like that. We up. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker got some millions coming. You know what I'm saying? And the album was still selling, but we didn't know how bankruptcy had worked. When they do that bankruptcy, they don't pay none of the people they owe. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to pay nobody they owe. But, they was paying like Share and all the major people they was distributing.
Right.
And the fucked up part about it, our deals was based on Mac being free and dropping another album because of the momentum of the Shining and Big Timing. And I didn't want to take a chance and sign with nobody else and go do that same shit because the Dope Boy shit kick in now. Like, man, we can't trust these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who to really sign to. So we just put out Uzi and Down and Dirty independent, which they did hella good. And we did it without a distributor. We was actually, every connect we made with the Shining and Big Time, and we would just ride into those cities and putting the records in the store ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's costly because you had to press them CDs, you had to gas up, you had to press them, you had to move just like a major label. We had thousands and thousands of posters. You got to go to that city, run, or you find a promoter, or you got to do it yourself. And cats like now, everything digital. It's way you push up a button, you done send your album in a million places. Now we had to literally gas up cars and buses and ride city to city. You went to Atlanta, you had to try to hit every town you could have hit. You ride into Florida, and that's you going. You know what I'm saying? By the time you come back, you try to make money with in between. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, it's a lot. It was a lot being independent, a lot way more than right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's a whole lot easier, and a lot of cats, they don't respect the game as much because they didn't have that struggle. You had to get vinyl press. You had to get these shit pressed. That's what for the DJs. You had to get and the vinyl was not cheap. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't cheap, but you had to have that for the DJs. You had to have posters up. You had to do promo. You know what I'm saying? And that's what every album.
So Bucks, when you say it wasn't cheap, so what? How much was that vinyl costing, and how much did you have to get?
Back then, I want to say you couldn't order nothing. I think 50 to 100 pieces, and that vinyl, I mean, might have been $10. Might have been more than that. You know what I'm saying? And now, mind you, that's just been vinyl to give to the DJs. This wasn't shit we was really putting in the store. You know what I'm saying? Because just from the single, you remember the single? You had 4 songs on here. You know what I'm saying? You had 4 songs and you had the instrumental. And that's the giveaway. That's what we had to hit the DJs with. And you had to go to record pools. You giving out maybe 100, 200 CDs to every record pool you go into.
Wow.
And that's something you had to do with every single album. Every album. That's not counting going in the studio recording, getting the artwork done. Because, like I said, the artwork was costing you $1,000 or better. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no $50 album covers. Because nobody never saw it. Nobody saw that shit. And they realized we were moving like a major. When you went out of town, you had to get shirts for your artists. You had to get clothes for your artists.
And listen, and y'all gotta listen. I hope that y'all artists, because this class in session. So I hope y'all artists listening to what Bucks just said. And going back to what Hefe said just a few while ago. Hefe said, "Oh yeah, we doing that on our phone right now. Yeah, y'all have that. Y'all got the. So it's no excuse why y'all can't have nothing proper put together
music right now. You just don't want to do music.
Come on, you don't want to do it. Come on, you talking about Bucks talking about it was talking about thousands of dollars to make a cover. Come on, man. Some of y'all don't want to pay $300 to shoot a music video. And you talking about $1,000 for a cover?
We didn't have no videos. A commercial, just a 30-second commercial, but costing you 15, 20 bands. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had none of that shit. And that's independent budget. This coming from hustler money. This ain't no
right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I can shoot a whole video on my phone. And we didn't even have no, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't get your music passed without driving to that place and putting your music in somebody's hand.
Right.
You have to drive city to city. You have to drive.
Ain't no excuse, guys, man. Y'all can make it happen.
And it was payola.
He's telling you the progress.
You had to pay. You had to pay.
It was payola too.
They
had to pay for that shit too.
Yeah, even for them to play your record, just to get your record heard.
That's right. That's right.
What I'm saying?
You had to come with that. You had to come with it though. You see what I'm talking about? For real,
and that's one DJ that ain't counting the 20 other DJs you might see in that same city. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's like it was that hustle back then. Like, I thank God the way things changed, because now I'm able to put my whole catalog on it and within a matter of seconds, pay like $100 and promote some shit when we were spending 10 to 20,000 and not making that bread back, because everything you made, you had to put it right back into the music. Like I say, we went on tour. Mac paid for an actual tour bus. We had a tour bus like dumb boy shit with the 16 beds in that bitch, a TV in the back, a driver, and we were, yes sir. You know what I'm saying? And we had an actual tour bus, our own shit. You know what I'm saying? We pulling up next to Cash Money, them boy, with our own shit. You know what I'm saying? They got a major deal. We independent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we hitting the towns. We got a promoter. We in Low Rock, Arkansas. About to beef with some cats. It was a cat named J Mac who was out. He had a record party at the same time we did in Low Rock, Arkansas. Mind you, we thinking with the same mentality as Dope Boys. So we in Low Rock, Arkansas with our promo, doing our promo. I'm drunk as hell. So I didn't go in and left. After we performed, we left. And at this time, Low Rock, Arkansas was the murder capital of the world. The boy was banging all that shit. And we got into it with some dudes up there. Well, I just had left. It happened like, man, I got up in the room and the shit kick off. You know what I'm saying? And it was all behind us rapping and them boy girl. I guess that was one of them boy old and she was some groupie shit.
Always.
So we flexing, you know what I'm saying? We heavy, we rolling and shit, you know what I'm saying? So them boy like and how they address, we would consider that country to us. You know what I'm saying?
It is country out there. Don't sugarcoat it.
You know what I'm saying? But that was their style. You know what I'm saying? So I said I look jokey like, man. Not realizing, yo, that boy's a killer. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
They had a documentary called Banging in Little Rock. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember that.
That happened around that same time.
All right.
We saw that after that. He's like,
okay.
We beefing with these niggas, you know what I'm saying? That boy was the murder capital of the world at that time. And we didn't, we about to tear the hotel up. Like, yo, fuck them niggas, we on the tour, mind you, we on the tour bus now. We and then even the bus driver we had, he was about a white fella. He had a 357 with the red beam on him, like, they ain't coming on this bus. You know what I'm saying? Like shit was real. We caught a tornado in Nashville. Tornado knocked the lights out in the hotel, so we ended up staying on the bus when the tornado. Man, we went through some real shit, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we went through some real shit on that road, man.
Did y'all get good responses in those towns on the tour?
Yeah, because everybody thought we was with Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? And the sound, like, okay, where y'all niggas from? When we start talking to people, like, yo, well, that nigga from Charleston. People had not heard so much about Charleston, but it was in a negative sense. So hearing music like, yo, them nigga Geechee, like, oh shit, that shit was coming. You know what I'm saying? It was coming.
Right.
And just seeing everything else, like that's when you heard the radio, you knew who the independent artist was in that time. You know what I'm saying? So every time you heard the radio, you didn't hear that bunch of saying music. When you went to Atlanta, you hear Hitman, Sammy Sam, them boy. You hearing Straight from the Deck niggas. When you got in Tennessee, you heard Tennessee niggas. You went to Texas, you heard Texas niggas. You know what I'm saying? You went to Flint, you heard Flint niggas. Like now you hearing the same shit on the radio. That was totally different then. You know who you had to go link up with. Yo, we got to meet this man and get in the studio and do some shit with him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said when we was like that, what the fuck the verse Juby said, she stands so fucking close to me. I thought it was on. You know what I'm saying? On that album, we was in the studio with them when they were recording them shit. You know what I'm saying? We just had Miss Twister. Twister just left, and Juicy J came out. I remember he had a green Lexus. Park outside the studio. He just came out with the CD. He's like, man, y'all boy, listen to this shit. And he played Twister's verse. And he had the hook or none of that shit on it. You know what I'm saying? The Twister just went ham like, damn, boy, that's Twister. I didn't know about Twister because he had won the Guinness Book World Records for
the
speed rap.
Speed rap,
what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm like, that's like, damn, we just must Twister. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like, and that music shit took us in a lot of places because I met my partner Mitchie Slick from Cali, Juice from the Bay Area, JT the Bigger Figure, man. It was a bunch of cats that we met. You know what I'm saying? We was reading about them, boy, and I still, stay in touch with my Cali people, and we end up doing a movie.
Right.
Talking about, you know what I'm saying, and shit called Thug Money. But a lot of the cats who was in the movie with us, God bless, they had a turf war going on at the time. And I'm gonna show you how real my Cali people is. They was going through a turf war, and we went to the studio with them, my boy Juice. And Juice like, yo, y'all out here with us, y'all going home the same way y'all came. When you went out to Cali, your first mentality, the Minister Society, boys in the hood, like that. Shit about to go down. But the Bay Area was like, they wasn't banging, but they was turf war shit. So we went to the studio. Juice like, hold up, we can't go in here yet. Juice pops the trunk, like, yo, put your vest on, pick a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all going the same way y'all came here. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's how much love Cali had for us. Like, yeah, man, it's like, man, I love California. You know what I'm saying? And I'm my first time seeing real Bloods and Crips.
Crips, right.
We was introducing them to Cash Money at the time.
Oh, wow.
Listen, it's like, even when I went to Florida, we was like, because there was a label called Itchy Bar Records in Florida that had Plies first, and they was trying to sign me. I didn't know who Plies was and none of that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? At that time. And it's like, Florida was coming. Like I said, JT Money, Luke Skywalker was the records, and they had these other guys named Big Baller Records. They were the first cats to drop a DVD. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. Remember that. Big Baller, they had the record album cover just like us almost.
You know what I'm saying? I should remember that.
Yeah. It was transferring to Dope Boy music. You know what I'm saying? The Dope Boy music was coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it's a lot of shit that happened. And I tell cats all the time, never give up. The new era right now, all we need is unity. If everybody can come together and rock with each other and support each other, that's the only downfall of South Carolina.
So Bucks.
Hold on, OG. I was just about to ask you, right? Because look, you mentioned Jay Prince, right? You mentioned Master P, you mentioned, Birdman, and you see all these different men, even you talking about UGK with all of them over there, like all these different groups and these different men. You see what I'm saying? They came together and they mean something to their city. And it's like with Mob Ties, with Cash Money, like these certain groups and entities, and I will put y'all right in the mix with that. You see what I'm saying? Because y'all had the same struggles, y'all went through the same process and everything else like that. But this music game is a nasty business. You see what I'm saying?
That's a nasty business.
If you're not gamed up properly. You see what I'm saying? But irregardless of that, why don't you think that Charleston why don't we have a Mob Ties or a Cash Money or anything like that or even a QC that people from the city, young artists, any artist coming up can go to be like, I got a shot to make it. Why don't we have that for our city? Like one label or one unit. You see what I'm saying? Like, why you think we don't have that in our city?
I answer this question all the time. The main thing is everybody want to be the first. They don't get the assignment. You know what I'm saying? When T.I. was popping, we watch Atlanta grow. When Outkast was the only thing popping. I remember I had the same managers, Jeezy and Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? They came together. It's all about appearance, all about perception. All they have to do is put their egos aside. You got a platform, I got a platform, I got a platform. Everybody share everybody music, whether you like that person or not. If you like, they're making quality music, support that. That's why Charleston ain't on. That's why they can't, because everybody, or they so much about the money till they killing the money. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, it's about choices. If I'm the only rapper in the city, and the people come through from the outside and see it, they don't like me, guess what's gonna happen to the city? They're gonna say, fuck that city, man. They ain't got one rapper, man. We don't give a fuck about that city. But if we come together, we show them there's 30 rappers and all us got a different sound, but we all one unit representing this one place.
Right. You always said that too. You always spoke about that.
I watch Florida get on.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't not going to Florida and then think them boys supporting each other. Go in the boy. Mm-hmm. You hear the music. The DJs ain't even really that. I put it partly on the DJs too, because they only rock with their section. But them boys from downtown, I can play them boy shit. I can play them boy. They don't really care about if the music good. They repping sections, and that's what's killing it. You know, nobody wants to say, okay, let me stand down, let me ride behind this man. Nobody wants to be in the shadow. That's what made the Black album so successful. We didn't care about who was the biggest artist, because like I say, OZ supposed to come first. We made Mac put an album out because he had the look.
He had the look.
He had the look like, yo, that's something different. We'll represent like a dark tone of music. That ain't something that you can really pop in the clubs.
Right.
Bullshit was like, okay, for the cats who ride in the car, we want to get mass appeal. And Mac just had that look. That's how he was always that flashy, like, okay, let's put this out and see what it do.
So with this ride that y'all had that you got set up, when was the demise of 263, where you felt like where everything everything just basically went down, it didn't go the way that the plan didn't go the way that y'all thought it would?
We had label deals pretty much depended on Mac being free, and we couldn't tell them when Mac was coming home. We had no definite release date. We didn't know what was going on. So
Buck, so while Mac locked up, y'all working this yourself. Y'all going to these cities. Y'all working.
We still working the same. Everything that we did with Mac album, we was doing it with every other album, but the budget wasn't big as like when Mac was there. We was counting on us. Everybody went all in. We like, man, look, let's do this music. We went all in with Mac album. Nobody fuck around in the streets no more. Nobody doing that. And so when that shit, now we hearing the label bankrupt, motherfucker owe us money. Oh shit, how you gonna do the same shit again? I'm back in the street. I'll be honest, I went back in the street. I'm back in the street mixing. I got a foot here and a foot there. And that's all we were down for. Got that foot in the street and trying to do that music. When some shit happened on that street and you fucked up on the music end. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't like Atlanta had a hub where you had that DJ who was on that were putting cats on. So without the musical support of the DJs and without them banging my music in the club or banging our shit in the club, we was just street. And you had to have that same funding because, like I said, you got to press those CDs. You got to hit the city. You got to do everything. We was doing everything that a major label do. A major label got this thing called free goods. They got a certain amount of CDs, T-shirts, posters, all that shit that they just give out. You know what I'm saying? And they got street teams to do that. We was doing that shit ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So now everything is stringent on, okay, you don't want to go to prison, but you got to take this risk because we need this amount of money for a budget to do what we got to do. And then you get to the point where artists get discouraged after a while. They're like, man, we ain't seeing no money. And they got people in the air like, man, dog, they owe y'all money, man. Boom, 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 boom. they doing this, they doing that, they owe you money, and the relationships start falling apart because no communication. People just assume when they let somebody come in their ear and tell them, okay, the man shitting you, and blah blah blah.
Right.
What they thinking is there. You're not telling them because you don't really want to hurt their feelings. You're trying to keep the morale up. But that's kind of hard when a cat that see this type of success, like we right here, we right here so far till we got our hand on the knob, and you peeking and you can hear the music, but you can't push that door all the way, and for that to get snatched away from you, now it's hard for you to even fathom. You done lost a lot for even doing it because you don't believe it's possible, because you didn't have no expectation. When we first dropped, you're like, man, the city ain't gonna rock with it, but we just having fun. But when that shit get up to here and you right there at that door, to find out the door, now it's business. Like now you trying to find every outlet you can to make the shit successful or put so much pressure on you to be successful. And when you in a group, now it's like, okay, a lot of artists don't understand the work behind this shit. They just want to record.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? They just want to record. They don't understand you can't not have me invest in you more than you invest in yourself.
Right.
A lot of artists, you spending money with them and they're spending money on them and they believe in, okay, like I said, I still was in the street. So for me, I didn't want to be the vocal point of the group. I didn't want the spotlight because I'm like, damn. And pretty much the other artists, I'm trying to pass the buck to them. They feeling the same way, like, man, you know what I'm saying? I kind of dabbling in the street too. So I don't want to be the vocal point. So now it's coming to the point where we ain't even doing no music no more. It's really street shit. We part-time rappers traveling. You know what I'm saying? And as you know, the shit start fading away, you getting disappointed. We got deals on the table, but you can't trust no deals. But we had a lot of
so Bucks, who at this point, who was the first one to say doing all this, like you said, these people being discouraged, everybody don't know, going back to the street, going back to their old hustles? Who was the first one to say, you know what, fuck this, man, Mac locked up, I'm out of here, I'm not staying here, I'm gone?
Man, I can do them boy like that. I can't even really say. I can't really say, you know, who was, get up first. I can't say because all that was kind of, I just didn't trust a lot of deals because we had deals on the table. And that's really, I can say this was really where the friction came in at, because we had other deals on the table.
Right.
The deals that sound good, but when the lawyer had look at it, it's like, don't do it. Now you got to tell us artists, yeah, we got this deal with Def Jam, but the deal ain't no good. We can't sign this.
You can't sign
it. Right. So now they feeling in their mind, damn, why the fuck you ain't sign it?
Right. This man don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're doing. You holding me back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where really shit come into.
So were you the one like taking on the role of trying to take care of business?
Because Mac brother, God bless, Trevor just died, a couple months ago. And Mac brother was like, man, I can't do this no more. So I was pretty much by myself. Now I can't just be an artist. Now I got to be the CEO and executive. I got to be the president and making shit happen. So now I got to get deals sealed, and I'm always transparent. So a lot of times, presidents don't carry the artists with them when they do shit. Right. Me, I wasn't that type of person. Look, you gonna go with me. When I went to Dept South, the whole clique went with me.
Yeah,
so they looking at everybody excited. Mind you, we went to Dept South before Ludacris even came there. It was a domination. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no name on the building, none of that shit. Ozzy was supposed to be the first artist, but they didn't want Ozzy to have his independence. They want to, they want Timbaland be. Timbaland was on fire. Like get Timbaland to do 15, 16 tracks, but Timbaland won $250,000 track, and he been getting that. You know what I'm saying? So now you putting your artist, if you sign this deal, your artist already $2 million in the red, and then they ain't giving us no guaranteed release date. We don't have a guaranteed release date. The deal sound good. Yeah, we gonna do this and do this, just numbers, but when are we gonna get this? When this album gonna drop? Because once you start learning the structure of these deals, if you don't have a release date, what they do, a lot of times they got an artist in the cut who they about to write off, who don't have a song, who don't have an image. You a new starving artist, we can sign you and give all your music to that artist we got in the cut because we own his publishing already. Now we own yours. So we can put you on one of your songs and give it to him. So as a label exec who got love for his artist, you would never sign a deal that will put your artist in that type of position. Even with the finder's fee, because 263 Records would have got a finder's fee, but where would that leave that artist at? He's stuck on the label, never coming out.
Right.
You got all that killing themselves because they never came out. You know what I'm saying? And just living with that, because like I say, we was family, all us family. So I could never see burning out of the artist. And the hardest thing was, okay, explaining to my family why we ain't signed this deal. Well, why the deal ain't get signed? Like, cause the deal ain't good. All they hearing is Def Jam.
Right.
That's all they're hearing. They're not realizing the points, what we got to give up for this shit. People didn't understand publishing. And I was just learning this shit from books. I was buying books. Like, okay, nah, don't fuck with that. Shit, we had Death Row Records call us. And we like, don't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with it. Don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot, even with Lionel Cohen, even when Mac came home, Lionel Cohen wanted to sign him. He's like, man, everybody wanted that first album. He was willing to give whatever he wanted, but I don't know, what went through Mac's mind, why he didn't fall do what I can't even speak on that. You know what I'm saying? But we was in a position where everything that we didn't get back then, he had the opportunity to get it more. You know what I'm saying? But he was just coming home. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of battles with shit. You know what I'm saying? And keeping the crew together, even getting them back into the point where they feel even like they want to fuck with music. You know what I'm saying? Because once you been there, you feel like, man, I've been there, that shit is a joke. I don't take this shit serious. You know what I'm saying? You got expectations now. So when a deal is heard of, the first thing, all you think is money. But that ain't how it works. Because these, like the lawyers, we had real lawyers. The boy, like, look, ain't no upfront money getting talked about. All they talking about, you recording this. You recording 50 songs. They want you to record 50 songs. And maybe out of 50, we can pick 10. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you got to pay, and they want their producers to do it. They're taking away the artists. They're taking away all your artists' artistic control now because OZ was a producer. They didn't want OZ to produce none of his tracks. Oh, let's get Timberland on it. Let's do this. Now, all I'm thinking about is the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And now they got their own engineer mixing and mastering. Shit, you done so far in debt, you might not never come out. Most painful shit to see is somebody else performing your music. You know what I'm saying? Somebody taking your name and your likeness.
And your likeness, right.
People don't understand.
So in a situation like that, do you feel like were any of them like felt like, oh man, I ain't worrying about none of that, I'll just do it? Did you feel like some of them was kind of too desperate to kind of jump on those deals?
They wanted. I mean, we fell out. That's really where the disconnect came in. I ain't gonna lie, we fell. It took us years for me to really explain, like, man, that's why I did that. I got real love for you. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see myself. I wouldn't do nothing to nobody that I wouldn't do to myself. Any artist that I ever had, you see how I roll, eh? You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I get them, boy, all my artists on their masters. You know what I'm saying? They can't say that I took nothing from them. You don't have to worry about no studio time. You don't have to worry about no artwork. I did all that. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't make any money off it, all I wanted to see was people win. Artists that I didn't know. If you got music out, man, I go to meet these people. When you buy your album, I'm gonna put it in these people's hand. You know what I'm saying? I always believed in giving people choices. But everybody
was this the point? At this point, was this the point that you said, let me go start Bezel Link because of the stuff you learned?
The reason Bezel Link came to be is because Mac was in the feds and we didn't know what to do. And he took on another partner that was in the feds as well. So now I gotta make decisions waiting on both of them to move. And they are different federal institutions. So I gotta get this approved from him, then wait on this to get approved. Now I'm gonna miss the shit in between. So now it's like, okay, I got some young artists. we won't mess with the nucleus artists. Would have been me, OZ, OG, and Down and Dirty. Trivia, X. We didn't mess with the nucleus artists, but I got some new artists. I got the Burnout Boys. I got Torn Down. I got all these artists, D Tizzle, you know what I'm saying? D Bezel. I got these artists. They're pretty much riding for T Mac. You know what I'm saying? So they ride for the 263 just to be a part of that shit in history. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay, me and my partner, big bro, we sat down and we like, okay, let's holler at Mac about doing Bears Link. That way we not waiting on when he's going to come home. Let's put
you and your this is your actual blood brother that you
me and Bezel, yeah. And it's like we like let's do this and have 263 as the tree, and Bezel Lake will be the branches off the tree. You know what I'm saying? So our plan was, okay, let's put these artists out, get them hot. So when Mac do jump off, all he got to do is do a couple songs with them boy and put it on. You know what I'm saying? And Burnout Boys at the time was my cousin and a couple of my little partners from off the height. They was BB Slim, where y'all know him, David Skywalker now. You know what I'm saying? We had Puzzle Boys, which is Torn Down, D Tuzzle, G's, Low Flamer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats who came out and actually did solo things they sell.
Spoon, a little Spoon.
God bless, you know what I'm saying?
God bless, yeah.
And we had a lot of artists. Lady Slim, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had a lot of artists that
Lady Slim still doing that thing, right? I still see
Lady Slim still doing, I still fuck with Lady. But yeah, so it was a lot of artists that was riding for the level what 263 had put together. And they wanted to be a part of that, even if it was through another label. But when Mac came home, what we talked about, the dynamics had changed. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of deals that we had in play when he touched down, they didn't ever formulate because he didn't want to fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? So what could I say? What could I do? You know what I'm saying? All I could do is keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So I just started dropping. I'm like, okay, what we gonna do? We had Burnout Boys and all them boys. They wasn't really getting that momentum like I could have got. So we like, okay, we're gonna fuck it. We're gonna put out I Got This album. You know what I'm saying? And I was like the first, like a joint venture 263 Bears of Link. So that was like the first record, and I could put all the artists from 263 on it and my new artists. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up doing that, and we did it totally independent. Killing them, and we trunk that thing 20,000-30,000 copies out the trunk, So, but at the time I was still in the street. That's where the problem came at, because we can't mix the street and our music at the same time. And like I said, that was pretty much the downfall of shit. Like, when contracts, talk of money, all that stuff will break up groups. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with groups of a bunch of different individuals, they got too much people in the air.
Right.
Who don't know their business, who don't know the business. You got 100 people in the air telling them, man, them boy get money, they dicking you, boom, boom, boom. And they didn't realize what we was doing. We was sheltering and forming a lot of artists. We was playing the A&R. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that labels don't even do no more. But when artists don't put in much work as you putting the money behind them, what can you do?
Yeah, that's true.
Got a lot of cats that they just want to record. They just want to record. All they want to do is record. And when it don't work out, the first person they coming to you is, oh man, Buck fucked me over. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Buck's stealing from me, man. Buck's making all this money. I press nigga CD and like, look, I can put it in all the stores. You got to push. You know what I'm saying? Make your money. Let's treat this thing like a hustle, but everybody don't have the hustle in them. And me, myself, I should have been doing it, just concentrating on being an artist myself. But like I said, I was always tied up in the street. I didn't want the spotlight like that. The love for me wasn't really there. I just wanted to do music myself. It's like, okay, I want to make sure I stay relevant. Let's put an album up, boom, 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 boom. And having a team that riding hard as you riding, that shit is like hard. That's the hardest part about the game. Like right now, reinventing myself is fun right now. Ain't no pressure on doing music, because you can incorporate it in so many things. You put the movie out, you put web series out. I could be on the internet talking shit in my car. There's so many ways to get paid right now. And it's a beautiful thing now. Like back then, it was, man, you just spending money that you never even saw back. You had to eat that as a loss, but you did it because you love what you're doing. And that's the difference between now. I mean, back then and now. You know what I'm saying? It's way easier to get recognized once you know, because you still got to be plugged in. But this internet shit, if you don't know, it's about who you know.
It's not about talent. You can cut the line as long as you know somebody. You know, I
Yeah,
done got in plenty of rooms, plenty of doors, plenty of studios, met a lot of people in the industry, all off the strength of like you said, being in the street, bro. Like the industry is the streets. And if you really understand what's going on, you could cut the line with a lot of this shit, man. If your paper straight, you know what I'm talking about, you know a couple people, you can really get to wherever you want to go and get next to damn near anybody, man. So you ain't saying nothing but the truth right there.
yeah. And I see Trap Dicky and a lot of, Long Money Flow, a lot of the cats, they networking with a lot of cats out of South Carolina. So it's looking promising right now. It's looking real promising, because you got your Black Zacks, you got Rennie Rucci, a lot of these artists signed, but
Cusco, don't forget about my boy Cusco.
what's your boy from Orangeburg, PG Raw?
PG Raw.
Yeah. Only thing I hear about them is they not really defining a sound for South Carolina. They sound like the music that they listen to. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest problem, because somebody has to define what South Carolina sound is. What's going to be our sound? You know what I'm saying? We sounded like the Midwest, so we get lost in the sauce with the Midwest. We sounded like the Midwest. They got 100 artists in the Midwest that sound the same way, and they like. So you from South Carolina and you ain't defined what you sound like, and you sound like Midwest, we must have shot again.
Let me ask you this though, because you got Columbia, Orangeburg, even we the Carolinas, but South Carolina, North Carolina different. Even Charlotte, all that's not Charleston. Charleston, I feel like is his own entity because we have the Geechee dialect. That's a whole different genre as far as just all the other parts of Carolina. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they don't have that accent. So would you say that the Carolina sound is Geechee, or do we need a Carolina sound? You see what I'm saying? Because it's
we need, like you say, Charleston got their own sound. And like I say, the problem with Charleston is everybody's got to get together. But we need to formulate some type of sound for South Carolina. Everybody else capitalizing on the sound. And until we define the sound, that's going to be the hardest thing. You look at Black Zack and Rennie Rucci, how long they been signed? All of them got major label deals. But you ain't hear a platinum record or gold record from none of them. That blew my mind when I Googled it. I was like, what? You don't have no platinum?
What? You're right. You're right. Like, I don't think they got a plaque. But this the thing though. All the producers getting plaques though. The Jetsons and your First Class and your Nikos and all the ones up in Columbia. And even what's your boy right there? Zach on the track. He getting plaques too. He right here from the city, bro. So the producers is eating. I'm not gonna lie.
Because they dealing with other people out of the state. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's true too.
And they get no credits. They getting credits for major artists, and that's like what our problem is. Like only messed up. Like I say, like when I first started this, I used to rap over other people's beats, but a lot of cats is leasing beats. They don't even have a producer that's really giving them beats, so they're rapping over a beat that's already been out there. So they'll never be able to get the credit for how talented they are because the beat made them. You know what I'm saying? And that's another downfall. Like, you gotta have original shit. And that was the advantage that we had. I got now 8 albums on the internet. Every one of them albums is all original beats. We might have sampled some shit, but that's all original. And when you're doing it all originals, the DJs, like, they're saying that's what they want, but they don't support it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that DJs play a major part in what's going down too, because they don't put you don't hear them breaking records no more. And I like what Drew doing with Street Drop with their podcast. They're trying to break records, like get back to what DJs breaking a record and the club and taking a chance with an artist. Like,
right.
You got a coalition you rocking with, okay, pass the record on. Because it's all about whatever DJ play. If he play it long enough, subliminally, you're going to have everybody on it. You know what I'm saying? But cats don't do that no more. Everybody want to be paid. The DJ trying to be the star too. The DJ was once the star, but now they really want to be the stars now. You got to pay them. Like, oh, I ain't doing that without money. They don't see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the money will come. Somebody got to get on. And I look at it. We did this thing in 1999. No one has surpassed those numbers that we did in 1999. This is 2025.
Wow.
This is 2025. And we don't actually know how much albums that Max sold. We know when the album dropped, we did almost 200-something thousand, 300,000 that month after. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what it did that whole year, that following year, the year after that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we will never know. You know what I'm saying? So to have artists sign with a major label, and I'm looking at the videos, everybody video crispy and clean. But when I listen to the music, I see the problem. Like, okay, damn, he sounds just like him.
Right.
Sounds just like him. He sounds just like him. Nobody standing out.
You know why though? Because nobody wants to take the time to find a producer that nobody knows about, that nobody is really like tapped into. They want to get all their beats from the same person, like you said, that sounds like everybody else. This is what's hot. The Detroit beats is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like the Detroit beats is hot right now. A lot of people hopping on that, but that's Detroit sound.
Yeah.
How you said, how are we ever gonna find a sound in Charleston, Carolina, whatever else, if you don't have all Charleston producers on your records?
But see, Dave did it. Dave did it. Now Dave had the opportunity.
Dirty Dave.
Dirty Dave did. He did it big.
The problem with that record was exactly what we said. I love Dave. That's my boy. But when I heard the album Carolina, you know what the name of the album? What the name of the album? It was pretty much the theme. It's supposed to have been the theme for Carolina. But when you listen to it, he had all the Charleston producers. But when you listen to the record, you heard Zaytoven, you heard Atlanta beats. So he pretty much the ball that got dropped. You know what I'm saying? Dave had a chance to define the sound, but he was doing what he thought in his mind. Okay, he was rapping Charleston, everything was rapping Charleston, but the beats didn't match the theme of what he was rapping, and that's how he ended up falling short. And I just saying that because I studied again, like I really studied. Like, okay, I'm like, damn, we'll make all them boy pumping. Everybody had an original sound, and I love Trick Daddy because Trick was the one to push us over the top. Like Little Boss, right now, he has the opportunity to be the man, define the sound in Charleston, and utilize Charlemagne. When Charlemagne had that boy in that Breakfast Club, I'm like, oh shit, we on. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
Yeah, he didn't capitalize on it. He did not capitalize on it.
Yeah, I see this. I feel the same way that you say. I don't think they capitalize on that properly.
Why you feel like he didn't capitalize on the move? Like, what do you feel like he could have done differently?
Whole album is supposed to drop. Supposed to remix that song with every artist in Charleston that's making noise.
I agree.
Every artist in the Carolina that's making noise.
That'd have been hard.
That's
most definitely.
Every big artist that you see, Buster, when he had Touch It, Feel It, what he did to that song, remix it.
By 10 times.
What he did, remix it.
Remix that.
5 on it, remix it. All the major artists who had that one hit, they remixed it with everybody who was hot, whether it was in a city or in another town.
Right.
That way, every DJ playing it. You got a hot song, listen, damn, you break that hot song from Charleston. Go get you do a Carolina version. And the problem with a lot of artists, because I got a song called Everybody Knows. I got Dave on there, Klepto, Fat Boy, Taylor, Molly Mall. And Shuffle. DJs didn't play the song.
Damn.
and
Hey,
I got all them on the video.
that's a lineup right there. Shit.
And I got all them on the video, but DJs wouldn't play the song. And when they hear it, like, man, when that song come out, man, they dropped that song in 2015, 14. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm talking when David Redheart. That's my boy. I call him. I like, man, Dave did the verse and the video. You know what I'm saying? And that's at the time when he was Red Hot, like coming here, 1,000 Ways to Get Paid was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But the artists didn't come together and everybody didn't put it on their platform. You know what I'm saying? I said, as long as my producer get credit, I don't care about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But everybody dropped the ball.
Right.
I didn't have a major platform like that. All I needed was them to share with their DJs who they knew, with their people. You know what I'm saying? And it would have made it happen. That's something I always been doing. I always been reaching out to every artist in the city.
Right. Right.
Like I hella songs on Marley Marl. You know what I'm saying? I got I release shit from Mr. Taylor right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We done did albums and shit together.
Shout out Mr. Taylor.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if we can't get the DJs on board, it kind of stump you because the Charleston, it got to be the whole union of people saying, okay, we going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm reaching out to Long Money folks. I listen to these cats' music. I like these cats' music. You know
Long Money hard. I got a couple tracks.
Yeah.
He hard.
And,
I got a couple records with him, bro.
And he's the personification of Charleston.
Right.
But cats don't support it like that. You got so many cats.
Do you feel like, speaking on Long Money, do you feel like he capitalizing on it, or he can do more than what he doing?
He doing as much as he can because the disconnect coming in, he has to go out of town to get loud. Why the DJs ain't supporting him? Why he ain't banging in the club every night?
Right.
I do hear him in the club now. I'm not gonna fake it. I do hear him in the club when I be going out every now and then.
And so I don't go out, so I can't argue that. But
they do spin him now.
When you
get
heard
spins in the city.
When you heard T Mac, when you heard of that, there's not a place you couldn't go that you didn't hear that shine.
But you didn't hear that song, right? That's right.
I heard that though. I hear where you come from.
I don't see posters of Long Money filling the gas station.
Right.
They forget about the footwork. You still got to do the
yes, they do. Yes,
you got to put it in their face for real.
Yeah, you got to put it in their face. You know what I'm saying? And it's simple. It's an elementary thing. You know what I'm saying? But everybody like move a certain way. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this formula, and they forget.
Let me ask you this. No disrespect, not to cut you off, but let me ask you this. Don't you think that's where the OGs come in at and supply that game? You see what I'm saying?
If they're gonna listen to the OGs.
Well,
you know how long? How long I've been preaching this? I've been preaching this
long time. Yeah, I'm a witness.
A long time, like a long time. Like, okay, and cats like, you know, I don't know what else I could do other than show cats through the way I'm moving. You know,
hey, I took my first Atlanta run. My first time ever being in Atlanta, period, was with Bucks, you know what I'm saying, and the crew, because we had our Pitch Black Entertainment, you know what I'm saying. Bucks took us along with them, you know what I mean. We went out there, man, you know what I mean. Shows, had a good time, but that was my first experience, man. But he been talking this years, and this one, you know, the OG. I'm the OG now, but you do this when I've been 20, 21. He been saying the same thing. He been talking the same stuff, man. 20 plus years, he been saying the same thing. That's what I'm saying. They not listening. That's what I hope they take the most from this. Listen, the game that he giving me.
I'm coming again now. I'm coming making a run right now. Like I say, like even with my movie, I got a movie on Amazon Prime. We did this in 2015.
Damn. Okay.
I went to prison. I went to prison and came back, you know, and I still don't have a lot of artists like not sharing it. Go check out the movie. You know what I'm saying? Doing shit. I got artists in the movie. I got Taylor in the movie, Michael Man in the movie. And so we got a little we made history. We was the first all-black cast, all-black written, directed movie. You know what I'm saying? And we called it America Street because at that time, Charleston was the only city in the United States with a street named after America.
Okay, 100.
And they took a lot of people movie off Amazon and put them on Tubi, but they kept us on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And we got another film coming. We got Head of the Food Chain, where we got a bunch of rappers in there. We got clothing brands in there. We got a web series. We got 4 episodes on YouTube. We try to put the word out. Cats don't support you. A lot of times, if cats ain't got their hand in it, they don't fuck with it. And until we get out of that mentality, we're gonna be messed up. You know, because a lot of people always tell me, like, well, why are you supporting people's music and they don't really fuck with you? It don't matter. My whole thing is to give people choices.
Bucks, I'm gonna show them the trailer right quick. You know what I'm saying?
For
So they
sure.
can.
Yeah, for sure. Did y'all shoot this in Charleston?
Everything in Charleston.
Word. That's hard.
Everything in Charleston.
We do need to support more films, like, because it's all create a creative space. It's all artistic, like film, music, all of that supports each other. Fashion, it coexists with each other. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
hand in hand, man.
Yeah.
I've been rocking with Murder P and them boy for years, man. Cats just getting on the plug love. You know what I'm saying? You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Broad Avenue, right? Man, I've been rocking with these fellas for years. And damn near 15 years. Plug love old as hell. Gotta be damn near 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And cats really just getting on McGraw Avenue. And it took them boy a long time. Now Detroit is winning. Them boy winning right now. And
Right.
they dropping films that are like shouldn't take that long. But like I say, it's a lot of shit, so much shit going on.
You see my dog with the guitar on here now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I say I always wanted to push the envelope and do different.
And read on my memories, but on that dirty hour, my spirit walking new flesh, reborn, free to scratch the world, put me to the test, absorb the pain and take a breath. On the ledge, about to step, I'm floating in the gust of wind, my wings keep me elevated, I'm never gonna fall again. I walk through fire unscathed, without a flesh burn. My father made me fire retarded, them haters will never learn. Let them throw their stones at will, cause they will never reach me. He gave me strength to walk.
Bucks, did the soundtrack do anything
We
from
never put out the soundtrack. We never even put the soundtrack out when we was reaching out to a bunch of artists. And I went to prison, so I missed the whole run. We actually get off $5 million for the film, but they
Wow.
wanted the rights to the name, and we wasn't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's what made it special. Like I said, we made history with it. That's always going to be in the history book. The first all black film that ain't been a slave movie, written and directed, all black cast. You know what I'm saying? And
Y'all make sure y'all check that out, man. Prime Video, man. American Street. We stop. You show love to everything else, man. Make sure we get the numbers up on that, man. We got to keep that going. We got to support our own because that's what
I appreciate it in advance. Like I said, we got Rose Boys movie cover. We got Head of the Food Chain.
Head of the Food Chain. You know, shout. What's one?
Don BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yes. I love the skits that y'all do. Y'all have me rolling, man. On them skits.
See that? And say I got with another team and see Don them boy like KG. You know, KG, he the man behind the cameras, you know what I'm saying? And he do a lot of funny videos. Who's Manual? Them boy like
I see
Stack boy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them, you know what I'm saying? Even Cousin Scooter, you know what I'm saying? All us, you know, the way them guys collaborating and they get me more involved with stuff. Like that's how I'm incorporating the OG, like put the OG in it. You know what I'm saying? They stay on my ass because I don't do enough.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
I
also see you advocating a lot of travel for
yes,
because getting out this hood, man.
Man,
you know
look, man, we nothing was bigger than the hype than me at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I started going out of shit traveling, like, why this shit here, this type of shit going on? Like shit. My wife actually took me on my first overseas trip, like Bahamas. And all these years, ain't like
I saw you out there, Jamaica, Bahamas. You've been all over, man. Right.
Man, I'm looking at this shit, and they got the same type of struggle, but
most definitely,
there's so much business involved with it, and they love music and culture because the boy in the Bahamas sound just like us.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And it's like, imagine if you get the outlet and you got some music. Because when I go out there, all I'm thinking is business. I'm thinking like, okay, how can I make shit happen off of this? And I wasn't prepared. Even when I went to the Essence Festival, my first time ever going there, man, I gave away so much Charlie O flyers and everything I had.
Right.
I wasn't prepared. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I ain't had no music. I ain't had no scan cards. I was like, God damn, I dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was so excited to be.
Excited, right.
You know
I
what I'm
saw
saying?
you. I saw the videos that you posted when you
And
was
it's
out there,
like,
man. You was
man,
all over, man.
everything now is about not missing the opportunity. And the
Mhm.
beautiful part about social media, you able to document it because everybody want to feel like they're a part of what you're going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're able to document it. And I'm trying to get around people not supporting each other. I'm just
Mhm.
showing them like, yo, this shit could be done if we just support each other. Because it's like,
I see you doing the clothing line also
yeah,
too.
yeah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
support you. I'm gonna support you regardless. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I
right.
don't gotta know you. You from my
That's right.
town.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
That's
about
right.
to rock your shit. You
Yeah, that's
from my
right.
city.
Right.
I'm about
Yep.
to rock your shit. I did this with the music. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because now it's more visual. You can't deny, okay, yeah, Buck say that. Now I've been doing this shit. Now you can actually see me doing it. So if
Mhm.
I got a song that blow, I'm wearing your clothes, it's gonna help me and you.
That's true.
Because
True.
even if the people ain't like my music, they might like what I had on. And the only
Mhm.
way you're gonna get it, you gotta come to my city.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? So
right.
the
Right.
whole job is to bring them to us right
Mhm.
before the city blow, because it's Charleston's about to be a major hub. Because we
Right.
about to get bigger ships, cruise ships, all the stuff gonna be coming in. You talking about millions of people coming in this thing every day. What you think they're gonna be looking for? Everything that's authentic to the city that they're in.
Yeah, that's
Music,
true. That's true.
clothing, all the stuff. People don't see the bigger picture. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
That's the reason why we don't have a multi-platinum selling artist, because nobody gets the bigger picture.
Right. Right.
Everybody got a separate entity. When I think of Megabucks, I want them to think of South Carolina and Charleston.
Mhm.
Not my label, they don't matter. None of that don't matter. When they think about me, I want them to think about South Carolina and Charleston when my name come up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right. Mhm.
And that's what I want them to remember me for. I was always on my mission is to see somebody eat, even if it's not me. Let me see that platinum seller artist, even if I just got my hand on helping him by carrying his bags. That don't matter to me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because when I first started this shit, all I wanted to do was be heard.
Mhm.
And when we did Shining a Big Time, and it's like when I got the line, you know what I'm saying? Who'd have thought a Geech Boy be getting paid off rap? That shit was like personal because
Right.
cats told me the sound that I had, it was ignorant. Nobody would buy that shit.
Mm.
So we did Shining a Big Time, and I had a point to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, y'all thinking, and I didn't know it was going to do what it did, but we made history. You can't take that away from us. Rather, not us and the crew don't talk no more. We made history.
Made history. Right.
And
Right.
that's itching in the books now. My thing is to make more history with new people.
Yes, sir.
We be a part of their history. You know, my little guys, you know them boy off the hike, Game Over YK. Y'all check them out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Game Over 1K. Y'all make
Yeah,
sure.
he hard. He
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
They
saying?
on for
Seemed
sure.
like I heard. Seemed like I heard some. I'm gonna definitely check him out. Seemed
You
like I
know,
heard
y'all,
some.
He
y'all
hard.
check them out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's a lot of artists, man. And like I say, I know Boss actually has a chance. When you got Charlemagne going, it's hard for you on the internet. I was like, oh man, I ain't got no direct connect to him because I was
Right.
like, man, he missing this opportunity.
Right. Right.
He supposed to have dropped song after song after song because all he needed was that one, and that should have been that one.
That one.
But it was about reaching out to somebody to remix it. So they would have jumped on it because Charlemagne and I co-signed for it.
Right. Mhm.
And he did. Let's say he had remixed that song with Ace Boogie. What is it? A Boogie with the hoodie?
Hey,
Ace
buddy.
Boogie.
Right. Right.
Somebody like, man, that shit would have went crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Most
That would
definitely.
have been crazy, man. And I
Mhm.
and I just want to see one of them blow like Long Money for a Lava style. Cause I watch his transition, how he grew. I've been knowing C Mully for forever.
Right.
Proud of what these guys is doing. We just have to do more. How Twin D them boy bringing different people in the city. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They're bringing different people in. You know, what's the dude named Animal TV? I think he's
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
be
I'm a TV. Yeah. Yeah. I've been seeing the
yeah,
stuff with him. Right.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
we gotta support each other. That's one thing that Atlanta did. If T.I. shot a video and you go back and look at the old videos, everybody from Atlanta was in that video.
Mm.
Everybody, you never when you go back and look at these, like, oh, what? 2 Chainz in this video? Shorty look in there?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Atlanta come out and support Atlanta. It's been half of them boy ain't even from Atlanta, but everybody clear Atlanta like how they do with Charleston. A lot of people like for surrounding areas. Okay, we from Charleston. We're gonna
Right.
claim whatsoever the major city, we gonna rock with that and support it.
Support it, right?
Charleston always had got negative press. Now we got to turn the negative into a positive. Because like I say, Free Money Gang, that's a cartoon, but it just happened the brand for the clothing just went ape shit, and I ain't dropped the pilot for the cartoon yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hitting it from every angle possible.
Right,
like,
right.
We got movies coming, ain't nothing gonna stop that, and the music and the movies incorporate themselves. You know what I'm saying? And the best part about it, you able to get a visual. I saw Straight Outta Compton, and I watched different generations enjoying the movie. And I remember them young fellas like, man, Ice Cube used to rap. Man, Ice Cube went hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's right.
You don't believe all they know is from Are We There Yet? So sometimes even Pac said that he just dropped crazy music because a lot of times people won't catch up with you and appreciate you till later on down the line.
That's true.
So I just try to put music out. Like I do it out there all the time. I got 8 albums out. We got a Carolina theme on the HBM album with me and Mugger Man. We got a Carolina theme. Dave had a Carolina song. And B Lord had a Carolina song. So guess what? I left our Carolina song in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
DJ wasn't playing. I sent it to B Lord. I sent it to all, but he was promoting the song. Dave had a song with Amigos doing the hook, but it was saying Carolina. I mean, he had a good thing in mind because he had the Amigos on it, but a Carolina song with somebody from Atlanta on the hook, it kind of downplay the song. You know what I'm saying? He's Mugger Man and Megabucks. That's what you're looking for. The HBM.
Yeah, HBM. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, Mugger Man. Just type in Mugger Man and Megabucks, Glorified Life. But I always tell people, listen to the lyrics of this shit. We was really talking about authentic Charleston. Like, you know, here I always talk about Chili Beer and Burnt Chicken. It's overlooked because it's not a ratchet song. It's a song that really I want you, because a lot of songs I didn't get to do visuals for. So this time around, every song that I got, I'm putting a visual out there and trying to keep the city involved. You know what I'm saying? Get the city involved, get everybody I can involved with it. You see it?
Yep. I got it right here.
Because I always try to get people to like go listen to the music. Like we were doing it like 2015, I had a lot of music. Where I recorded a lot of music.
Baby, gotta get my money, come on, baby. I'm so Carolina, baby. I'm so clean, it looks so crazy. I'm so Carolina, baby. Palmetto trees blowing in the breeze. I'm so Carolina, baby. And man, my neck and my wrist free. I'm just a young Geechee boy trying to get paid. I'm from the home of the slaves, so ain't that many ways. Came up for nothing. I'm talking concrete. Now I'm talking to Chuck, roofing up these Ric Flair beats. I'm a Carolina nigga. I'm gonna go get her. My state overlooked, but one day they gon' hear us, nigga. It ain't no choice but for me to shine on you niggas. I never had shit, so I grind on you niggas. I'm from a hood and trust will probably be worse than the recession. Where the fake niggas ballin', the real niggas tellin'. So I gotta stay focused while I'm on my money train. Stack and save change for them rainy days. I was raised by hustlers, prostitutes, and pimps. The making this my hood, screw rap is the strip. You surrounded by real niggas, go ahead and keep calm. And I pay my dues, made the news, I'm cool and smoking a bomb. Baby, gotta get my money, come on, baby. I'm so Carolina, baby. And I'm so clean, it looks so crazy. I'm so Carolina, baby. Palmetto trees blowing in the breeze. I'm so Carolina, baby. And man, my neck and my wrist free. Came up on collard greens, now I'm beans, red rice, turnips, eggs, grits, bacon, pancakes with the syrup. I've been a lot of places throughout my life, but ain't no place like home when I sleep at night. Taste of a chili bear on a hot summer day. Break a chicken on my plate, take my cares away. I went through a lot trying to get respect. Overlooked for my talent cause of dialect. And everybody screaming, Geechee better cut the check. Cause I refuse to keep quiet while y'all disrespect. If you wasn't born here, you ain't repping me. And I died for my city, it's a part of me. It's a whole nother world from north to south, cat. I done left a few times, but had to come back. And my mission's still the same, I never forget that. Let you know where I'm from to the death, I rep that. South Carolina, baby. Gotta get my money.
like I say, I always express my love for Carolina, my love for Charleston and the music, but
Yes, most definitely, most
get
definitely.
overshadowed by, just
Mhm.
DJs not showing love, program directors not showing love. Because even with the song I did with Marcus Allen, like shout out to DJ Venom, she
Right,
was
right.
killing that shit. And I say I miss a lot of opportunities because I was fighting cases, man, and that's the main thing. I always been dumping in the street. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
we and I'm about to say that's another thing. We didn't even get into your time that you just had, but I really want to bring you back on because
Yeah, man.
that's another factor that's a whole nother cast that we got to have because I mean you learned a lot. I mean you basically motherfuckers don't really know that you got yourself free. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize this brother man went in there to the library that you because y'all don't like to read and he learned everything that he needed, the laws, everything that he needed to do to get himself out of the situation that he was in. And that's something that we don't know. And we coming into with this climate, with this new government and this type of shit that we got going on now. If we don't read and we not up on what's going on, they gonna get over on us every time. And it's about to be even worse. You know what I mean? So I really want to have another show and bring you on so we can just talk about that whole experience that you had because I think that's very important for them to hear. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man, I appreciate it. Like I say, I graduate, matter of fact, with May 2nd, with criminal justice degree. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
real,
And that was
real.
something I said
Congratulations,
on the
bro.
prison walls. I said, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
sir.
I said, even the free money gang, the FMG thing is
Mm-hmm.
foundations, more generations. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like
And I
that.
gotta tell people with the free money,
Mm-hmm.
idea don't cost you nothing. When you
Mm-hmm.
take the idea, you convert it, it becomes money. And
That's
then you
right.
pull
Yes,
a
sir.
group of people, that's a gang, free money
Mm-hmm.
gang. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
That's
And
right.
we take that structure and we apply it to where everything we doing in our life, things will be a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Most
Everybody
definitely.
they thinking it's about themselves. You can't do nothing without a gang, man. Ain't
No,
nobody
you
think
can't.
about themselves.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't.
You could be
But like you said, how to properly organize it and
yeah,
properly have
yeah.
it running. You know what I'm saying? Where you ain't just doing a bunch of bullshit. You doing something to help advance not you, just you, but
Yeah.
everybody in the gang.
Everybody around you. That's what I gotta say. Because Pooh, that was his main thing. He
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
don't be jealous of nobody. You watch how they
Mm-hmm.
eat. You do the same thing they doing. You
Right.
know, so it should
Mm-hmm.
never be just too much money out here. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, there's too much money out here.
It is.
You got so many outlets,
Right.
man. You can have 100 podcasts and everybody eat.
That's
You know,
right. Better
you
believe
can
it.
have
You better
100
believe
rappers
it.
and everybody eat.
That's
You
right.
know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? So
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
why not support each other?
That's
I
right.
look for competition. That's what make
Mm-hmm.
me better. Like I used to get in that studio with Eddie, but oh shit, Eddie like oh, you know what I'm saying? This nigga is too far. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
but hey, in my mind, I'm thinking, I said, shit, but I'm in here with Bucks. I gotta make sure I can't come in here whacking weak.
Yeah,
I gotta make sure my shit fire. If I'm not shit, then,
look,
hey,
man.
listen,
It's like
you know.
people don't understand. Like
Mhm.
people around you make you better. You only as good as the people around you. And if
Yes,
you can
sir.
say you're the greatest, but if
Hmm.
you're not rapping, showing it against nobody else, how will you ever prove that?
How
You
you
know what I'm
right?
saying?
That's right. That's right.
It's so many people with arrogance. Like look, what I did in the past is irrelevant. That's right for right now. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna make me relevant? What's gonna make you remember me 10, 15 years from now? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Hmm.
My thing is to fight for the city, to fight for the state. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Hmm.
something I always been doing, and I ain't gonna never stop doing it. Like I said, this new round I got coming with the music, it was just about because I'm getting all my corporate
Right.
structures set in place. Because I
Right.
always
When I
tell
talked to you
that,
the other day, you had a meeting going on. You was
yeah,
breaking some
see,
stuff down when I talked to
I
you
got
last
some
time.
business managers, like, because the whole thing is I don't sell dope no more. 2017, I can tell you, was the first time in my going on
Hmm.
52 years of life that I had no street cards. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying?
For sure.
So
Right.
it's a beautiful thing to understand this corporate structure and learn how they move and not spend your bread. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Because everything is based on money. Because right now they're projecting that to have a strong single, you need at least a quarter million.
Right. Right.
You get you
Right.
one
That is the
strong
issue.
single.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the best way they're gonna do it is through corporate funding. And it ain't hard to do. Just take a little reading and structure in your paper to work the right way. Get mentors if you need it. Because
Hmm.
that's got to be first and foremost. Because you're going to drop the ball again if you got momentum, but you lack the funding.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And independent is the way to go. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I watch these little cats. These cats making some money out here, but they're not. putting it where they need to be at. You know what I'm saying? We're not because it's all about learning more and more.
Yeah, I definitely. And when you come back, I want you to break it down the difference between like you told me about the LLC and the corporation, because they really need to know that too, and they need to. I'm gonna make sure they got their pens and their papers ready, because this ain't. I want y'all to listen to. I want y'all to be taking notes, because what the conversation me and you had the other night. Shoot, man, that's just that brief few minutes you gave me so much information, man, in that small little in that window. And we don't got a lot of people like Heffy said a little while back in the conversation. The OGs, it's not a lot of them doing their due diligence, because that's the job of the OGs. They whether they listen to it, whether
you gotta put it in the air.
You still put it in the ear, right? That's right.
Put it in the ear. And the whole thing is like Buster said. Buster, he really motivated me, because Buster, like, look, how you expecting to talk to the young fellas when you look like the old nigga? You ain't got shit going on.
That's right.
You gonna talk to them, you gotta show them you're doing exactly what they do. When they see me, I used to, I had fall back from all this for a little minute, but they about to see some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're about to really see some shit, so you're gonna see me when I leave the room. You're gonna see me. You're gonna be like, okay, damn, I gotta listen to dog.
Sure, I was seeing you in the pieces you had in the clothes. I seen you with a black leather jacket with that Free Money Gang leather. I'm gonna steal that jacket if I come and get you, man. That jacket.
I can order that for you. You ain't got to do that. I can order you. I can do that.
Most definitely. I definitely. I told Hef, man, I got to get down there and get me some pieces, man. I got to get back to the city, because that's what we got to do. I want to be able to wear this on the show, letting people see, you know what I'm saying? I'm supporting my brother.
That's what it's all about, man, because everything is visual now. People believe what they see is by perception.
Right.
And if you telling somebody, oh, do this, and you ain't doing it yourself, that's a waste of time.
That's right. Yeah.
But I'm looking at it in the sense, okay, I'm tired of telling y'all what to do. Watch me do it. You know what I'm saying? Just watch me do it. Y'all get to see me this time. Y'all ain't got to hear about, yeah, boy, Bucks, you just do that now. You're going to actually literally get to see me doing it. Now, if you miss out on your chance to be a part of it,
right?
Hey, what can I say? I'm going to do me. You know what I'm saying?
I saw you, man. You had the vans. You had. I remember the van, man. The van. You had them boys ride. You had everything set up. So now, like you said, this next half is going to be even bigger and greater for you, because the experience you got and the information, just the game that you got, just yourself, that you done took to the next level. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what you're gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
You know, I know you not just from. It's crazy that it's not a whole lot of brothers from the generation that you just said, like the story that you just took us from the beginning, the ride from the beginning of the podcast until now. I definitely appreciate you just coming to give the story, because ain't a lot of brothers, bro, that's still your age from that can say they was in that generation and still here with us and still giving the same game. A lot of them dead, locked up, drugged out, you know what I'm saying, or just got families and just not even on that type of time no more. You know what I'm saying? So we really just appreciate your dedication to not just your own struggle, but to the struggle of the people, man, and just always being a brother we can come to and say, hey, man, hey, what do I need to do this? Hey, what's up with publishing? What's up with points? What's up with this? You always been that person, and I just say we just appreciate you, and I'm gonna even say sacrificing that time and you're just giving yourself to this game, because from me studying you and just being around you, just the years that I've been, it's been a long time. Like I said, 20 plus. I seen you not just unselfishly, not just give yourself just to the label of what you was doing, but just things to the city. And you always been dedicated about pushing the city forward. And we need more people like that, man. And we really appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I appreciate you, man.
Hey, one more question before you go. What would you like to see from the city as far as just creatives this year? Like, what would you like to see artists challenge themselves to do collectively? Because you talked about unity before. What would you like to see from us collectively as a unit?
I like that question.
Just get together and define this sound. Let's put the sound. Let's create a sound that when they hear this shit, that's Charleston.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to hear it like this Carolina, like we know because North Carolina had hella runs. They had hella runs. They solidified.
Yep.
Why Darian Ruckus the only platinum artist we got, man? Come on,
right.
right.
And the crazy shit about it, I saw Darian Ruckus and he didn't understand what I was saying to him. You know, where I can see that I saw him at Hardee's on Northwood.
Okay, word.
He looked like he been golfing. He had some ugly ass golf fans and some shit. I was like, man, thank you. He was like, huh? I said, man, thank you, bro. We don't do the same genre of music, but your face, because I remember where you come from. I remember when they used to perform at Wild Wings.
Yep,
you know
I remember that. Yep, sure enough.
And I remember when I came home from prison in '95, them boy fuck up. I'm like, that's the same group with the black dude. You're like, yeah, that's the same dude. And they blew up. When I saw these videos, that ain't my type of music. But I'm looking at the boy videos, they got called the Charleston jersey shit on. And in South Carolina State, I'm like, hold up, these niggas just rapping. You know what I'm saying? With a, even his one of his albums is called Charleston. And he on the board by the bridge. I'm like, this nigga rapping. I really want to do a song with him. You know what I'm saying? Because for us, people they don't understand the contribution of what he did for us, for people who look like us. You know? And Charleston is the new hub. And we got to get on the ground floor. I'm just excited to be alive to even see this, man. We went to try to go see KRS-One and we wait to the last minute to get them tickets, couldn't get in that shit. That shit. I was like, damn it. I just show you just how much music is here, how much fans here, all kind of shit going on.
And remember, Bucks, 10 years ago, when me and you, when we was doing music, they didn't want to see these old rappers. You try to get an older rapper like KRS-One on stage, they couldn't get 10 people in the stage. You know what I'm saying? On the concert.
We out there trying to scalp tickets, all type of shit. Man, that shit was so packed, man.
Come on now, talk about it, man. Come on.
Out there,
I'm glad to see they run because the rock stars, the country stars, rock stars, they still can do it 50, 60 years while our people can't run get us 50, 60 years.
And I had to go to the gig and hear them boy who made it in there. Boy, KRS did that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Mad as a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I know you was, man. I would have been hot, man. We definitely appreciate you, man, coming, man. I mean, giving your time, man. I know we getting on late. I mean, you stayed a little longer than what but you gave us more than what you even promised. We appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all, boy, man. I appreciate y'all. I swear, man.
Like I said, and this is our first episode of the produce department. So this was a great one, man. There's a great conversation. This is full of Easter eggs, jewels. I hope they don't miss nothing and they just remember. Take the history that you gave them and just remember everything that you said. And hey, and like we do on everything, man. Hey, you our guest, so we're gonna give you the last word, brother.
Man, lucky man. I always end videos that I do with I love y'all. Be safe. I don't gotta know you. You from my town, you from my state, and I love you. Be safe and keep looking forward. Don't worry about behind you, man. That's invest in yourself. And education is key. When I say invest in yourself, that's what I mean. Health, wealth, education. I love y'all, man. Be safe, man. For real, for real.
Hey, appreciate it. Hey, signing off. Peace.